Once upon a time, in a kingdom shrouded by mist and magic, there was a magnificent castle surrounded by lush forests and sparkling rivers. The kingdom was ruled by King Alderon, a wise and kind-hearted ruler. King Alderon had a daughter named Princess Alara, who was known for her bravery and kindness. One day, a mysterious fog rolled into the kingdom, and with it came tales of a powerful crystal crown hidden deep within the enchanted forest. According to legend, this crown could grant the wearer the power to bring prosperity and peace to the land. However, it was also said that the crown was protected by magical creatures and powerful enchantments. Princess Alara, eager to help her kingdom and prove her courage, decided to embark on a quest to find the crystal crown. With her loyal steed, Bramble, and a small bag of supplies, she set out toward the enchanted forest. As she ventured deeper into the forest, the trees grew taller, and the air was filled with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. Alara followed a shimmering path of moonlight that seemed to guide her way. Along the path, she encountered a talking squirrel named Nutmeg. "Greetings, Princess," Nutmeg said with a bow. "I've heard of your quest. To find the crystal crown, you must first seek the guidance of the 3 wise beasts who protect the crown." Nutmeg pointed her toward a large oak tree where the first of the wise beasts, a golden owl named Orion, resided. Alara climbed the tree and found Orion perched on a branch. "Welcome, Princess Alara," Orion hooted. "To find the crystal crown, you must solve the riddle of the enchanted mirror. The mirror will reveal the path to the crown, but only if you answer its riddle." Orion presented Alara with a riddle: "I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Alara pondered the riddle and then replied, "A fire." The owl nodded approvingly. "You have answered correctly. Follow the path of glowing fireflies to find the enchanted mirror." Alara thanked Orion and followed the path of fireflies that led her to a hidden glade. In the center of the glade stood a tall, silver mirror surrounded by magical flowers. As she approached, the mirror shimmered and spoke. "To find what you seek, you must prove your heart's true wish," the mirror said. "What is it that you desire most?" Princess Alara spoke from her heart: "I wish to bring peace and prosperity to my kingdom, to ensure the happiness of my people." The mirror's surface swirled with light and revealed a hidden path leading further into the forest. Alara followed the path until she reached a crystal-clear lake with a small island in its center. On the island was a beautiful, glistening chest. As Alara approached the chest, the water around the island began to swirl, and a majestic white stag emerged from the lake. The stag spoke in a gentle voice. "Only those with a pure heart may open the chest. To prove your worth, you must show bravery and kindness." Alara knelt beside the stag and said, "I will do my best to honor these qualities." With a soft click, the chest opened, revealing the crystal crown, which sparkled with 1,000 colors. As Alara reached for the crown, the stag nodded in approval. "You have proven yourself worthy. Take the crown and use its power to fulfill your noble wish." Alara carefully lifted the crown and felt a surge of warmth and light. She thanked the stag and returned to her kingdom with the crown. Upon her arrival, the kingdom rejoiced, and Alara placed the crown on her father's throne, ensuring its protection. The crystal crown brought prosperity and harmony to the land. The forests grew even more lush, the rivers sparkled brighter, and the kingdom flourished under Alara's wise and kind rule. And so, Princess Alara's tale of bravery and kindness was remembered for generations, a timeless reminder that true power lies not in magic, but in the purity of one's heart and the desire to make the world a better place. The end. Once upon a time, in a hidden corner of the world, there was a village called Glimmerdale. Nestled between towering mountains and verdant valleys, Glimmerdale was known for its breathtaking beauty and the magical Lake of Reflections, which was said to grant clarity and insight to those who gazed into its waters. In Glimmerdale lived a young woman named Eloan, known for her curiosity and compassionate heart. Eloan had always been fascinated by the legend surrounding the Lake of Reflections. Her closest companion was a clever fox named Finn, who had a knack for solving puzzles and finding hidden paths. One crisp morning, as the first light of dawn painted the sky in hues of gold and pink, Eloan and Finn set out on an adventure to uncover the secrets of the lake. They followed a winding path through the forest, guided by the gentle hum of magical energy that seemed to emanate from the lake. As they approached the lake, they noticed that its waters were not shimmering as they usually did. Instead, the lake was covered by a thick, swirling mist, and the once clear surface was now shrouded in shadows. Eloan felt a pang of worry and decided to investigate. Nearby, they found an ancient stone tablet inscribed with runes. Finn examined the tablet and translated the inscription. Only those with true hearts may enter the Lake of Reflections. To lift the veil of shadows, you must complete 3 tasks that test your courage, wisdom, and compassion. Eloan and Finn exchanged determined glances and prepared to face the trials ahead. The first task was the trial of courage. They had to cross a rickety bridge that spanned a deep chasm. The bridge swayed and creaked with every step, and the chasm below was filled with swirling shadows. Eloan took a deep breath and stepped onto the bridge, holding Finn's paw tightly. With Finn's encouragement and her own bravery, she carefully made her way across, overcoming her fear and reaching the other side safely. The second task was the trial of wisdom. They arrived at a glade where an ancient tree stood, its bark etched with intricate patterns. The tree spoke in a gentle, rustling voice, "Answer my riddle to proceed. I am not alive, but I grow. I do not have lungs, but I need air. I do not have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Eloan thought for a moment and then answered, "A fire." The tree's bark glowed with approval, and a path was revealed, leading them closer to the lake. The final task was the trial of compassion. They reached a clearing where a small, injured deer lay. The deer's eyes were filled with pain, and it could not move. Eloan knelt beside the deer and gently tended to its wounds, using herbs and bandages she carried with her. Finn gathered some fresh water and soothing leaves to help the deer recover. With their care and compassion, the deer's condition improved, and it was able to stand and walk. With the 3 tasks completed, the mist over the Lake of Reflections began to clear. Eloan and Finn approached the lake's edge and gazed into its now clear waters. The lake's surface shimmered with a beautiful, silvery light, and the reflections showed not only their own faces but also visions of their deepest desires and hopes. Eloan saw herself helping others and making a positive difference in her world, while Finn saw a future filled with exploration and discovery. The lake's magic granted them clarity and insight, revealing their true path and purpose. As the sun set, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, Eloan and Finn returned to Glimmerdale, carrying with them a newfound sense of purpose. They used their insights to bring positive change to their village, helping others and fostering a spirit of kindness and adventure. Glimmerdale flourished under their care, and the Lake of Reflections continued to shine brightly, a beacon of wisdom and hope. The villagers celebrated Eloan and Finn's bravery and compassion, and their story became a cherished legend in Glimmerdale. And so, the village thrived, forever touched by the courage and kindness of a determined woman and her loyal fox friend. The end. The Enchanted Melody. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village nestled among rolling hills and blooming meadows, there was a young girl named Eliza who had a remarkable gift. She could play the violin with such grace and beauty that anyone who heard her music felt as though they were transported to a world of magic and wonder. Eliza's violin was no ordinary instrument. It had been passed down through her family for generations. It was said to have been crafted by a legendary musician who had enchanted it with a melody so powerful that it could touch the hearts of even the most hardened souls. The villagers adored Eliza's music and would gather around her every evening to listen to her play. One evening, as Eliza played a particularly beautiful tune by the edge of the village's serene lake, a mysterious figure appeared. It was an elderly man with a long, silver beard and twinkling eyes, dressed in a cloak that seemed to shimmer with every color of the sunset. "Good evening, young musician," the man said, his voice as gentle as a breeze. "I am called Master Orion, and I have heard of your extraordinary talent. I have come to ask for your help." Eliza was intrigued. "What can I do for you, Master Orion?" The old man explained, "There is a magical land hidden beyond the lake, known as the Realm of Echoes. It is a place where all melodies are born and where the most beautiful music in the world is created. However, a dark spell has silenced the realm, and the magic that once flowed through it has faded. Only a true musician with a pure heart can lift the spell and restore harmony to the Realm of Echoes." Eliza felt a surge of excitement and determination. "I will help. How do I get to this realm?" Master Orion handed her a silver compass with intricate designs. "This compass will guide you across the lake and into the realm. Follow its direction and play your music with all your heart." With a sense of purpose, Eliza took the compass and set out towards the lake. The moonlight reflected off the water, creating a path of shimmering light. As she crossed the lake in a small boat provided by Master Orion, she noticed the water growing still and the air becoming thick with magic. The boat reached a small, mist-covered island, and Eliza followed the compass, which led her to a hidden entrance covered with vines and flowers. As she stepped through the entrance, she found herself in the Realm of Echoes. The land was beautiful but eerily silent, with trees that seemed to have lost their color and flowers that were no longer vibrant. In the heart of the realm stood an ancient, towering tree with branches that seemed to stretch endlessly into the sky. The tree's trunk was adorned with glowing runes that pulsed faintly. Eliza approached the tree, her heart filled with both hope and trepidation. As she drew her violin from its case, she noticed a strange and heavy silence that seemed to weigh upon her. She took a deep breath, positioned her bow, and began to play. She poured all of her emotions into the music, her joy, her sadness, her hope. The notes she played were gentle and soothing, yet they carried a profound depth. As the music flowed, the once dull colors of the realm began to come alive. The flowers bloomed in brilliant hues, the trees regained their lush green, and the air became filled with the sweet scent of blossoms. The ancient tree's runes glowed brighter, and a soft, melodious harmony joined her music, as if the realm itself was singing along. Eliza played on, her melody weaving through the land, awakening the magic that had been dormant for so long. The ground beneath her feet seemed to hum with life, and a warm, golden light spread throughout the realm. When she finished playing, the Realm of Echoes was transformed. The land was now vibrant and full of life, and the air was filled with a symphony of harmonious sounds. Master Orion appeared beside her, his eyes shining with pride. "You have done it, Eliza," he said. "Your music has restored the magic of the realm and lifted the spell. The Realm of Echoes is once again a place of beauty and enchantment, all thanks to your pure heart and incredible talent." Eliza smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. "Thank you for guiding me here and giving me this opportunity. It has been an honor to bring this place back to life." Master Orion nodded and handed her a small, ornate box. "This is a token of our gratitude. Inside, you will find a special gift that will remind you of your journey and the magic you've restored." Eliza opened the box to find a delicate, silver locket shaped like a musical note. Inside the locket was a tiny, shimmering crystal that seemed to pulse with a gentle light. "This locket will hold the essence of your music and the magic of the Realm of Echoes," Master Orion explained. "Whenever you need inspiration or wish to remember this land, it will remind you of the magic within you." With a final farewell, Eliza returned to her village, the locket safely around her neck. Her music continued to bring joy and wonder to the villagers, and the legend of her adventure became a cherished tale. The Realm of Echoes remained a magical place, hidden from view but forever touched by the melody of a kind-hearted musician. And so, Eliza lived happily ever after, her music forever resonating with the magic of the enchanted realm she had restored. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. The Whispering Tree. In a peaceful village nestled at the edge of an ancient forest, there was a majestic oak tree known as the Whispering Tree. This tree was renowned for its ability to communicate through soft, rustling whispers carried on the wind. The villagers believed the tree held the wisdom of the forest and often sought its advice in times of need. Among the villagers was a young boy named Finn. Finn was known for his curiosity and boundless energy. He spent his days exploring the forest and dreaming of grand adventures. Although he often visited the Whispering Tree, he had never heard its whispers, which made him wonder about its secrets. The call of the Whispering Tree one autumn evening, as the leaves began to turn golden and the air grew crisp, Finn felt a peculiar tug in his heart. The Whispering Tree seemed to be calling him, its whispers louder than ever before. Driven by curiosity, Finn decided to visit the tree and seek its wisdom. As he approached, he saw that the Whispering Tree's bark had taken on a shimmering hue. The whispers grew more distinct, almost like a gentle psalm. Finn touched the tree's bark and heard a soft voice saying, "To find what you seek, you must venture where the moonlight dances on the silver stream." The journey begins with the Whispering Tree's cryptic message in mind. Finn set off on a quest to find the silver stream. Guided by the light of the full moon, he ventured deeper into the forest than ever before. The trees seemed to part for him, and the path was illuminated by the moon's gentle glow. After a long walk, Finn discovered a hidden stream with water that sparkled like silver under the moonlight. At the edge of the stream stood a small, ornate bridge made of moonbeams. Finn crossed the bridge and followed the stream as it twisted and turned through the forest. The enchanted grove. The stream led Finn to a hidden grove bathed in moonlight. In the center of the grove was a crystal-clear pond with a single, floating lily pad. On the lily pad rested a golden key. The sight was mesmerizing, and Finn carefully reached out to take the key. As soon as Finn touched the key, the grove began to shimmer with a magical light. The trees around the pond started to glow, and the air was filled with a soft, melodic hum. A gentle breeze carried the whispering voice again, now clear and soothing, returned to where the journey began, and unlocked the heart of the forest. The heart of the forest. Returning to the Whispering Tree with the golden key, Finn found that the once familiar tree now seemed even more majestic. The tree's bark had transformed into a shimmering silver, and its branches swayed as if welcoming him. Finn approached the tree's trunk, which had a hidden keyhole just beneath the surface. With a sense of anticipation, he inserted the golden key and turned it. The Whispering Tree's bark parted, revealing a hidden door that led to a spiral staircase. The secret chamber. Finn descended the staircase, which led him to a secret chamber filled with glowing orbs of light. At the center of the chamber was a large, ancient book resting on a pedestal. The book was adorned with intricate designs and seemed to radiate warmth and magic. Finn carefully opened the book, and its pages revealed a story of the forest's origin. The book spoke of an ancient magic that connected all living things, a magic that had been preserved by the Whispering Tree. It detailed how the tree had been entrusted with this knowledge to protect the forest and its inhabitants. The gift of wisdom. As Finn read, he realized that the Whispering Tree's true gift was not just its wisdom but the understanding that all creatures in the forest were part of a grand, interconnected web of life. The magic of the Whispering Tree was a reminder of the harmony and balance that sustained the world. The Whispering Tree's voice echoed in Finn's mind, "You have unlocked the heart of the forest and discovered its secret. Share this wisdom with others, and cherish the harmony of nature." With a renewed sense of purpose, Finn returned to the village, carrying the story of the Whispering Tree and the ancient book in his heart. He became a storyteller, sharing the magic and wisdom he had learned with the villagers. The forest thrived under his care, and the Whispering Tree continued to be a guardian of the forest's secrets. The tale of Finn and the Whispering Tree was passed down through generations, reminding everyone that the greatest treasures are the connections we share with the world around us and the wisdom we gain from listening to its whispers. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between misty mountains and a sparkling river, there lived a kind old woman named Agnes. Agnes was known throughout the village for her warm heart and her collection of beautiful lanterns. Each lantern was unique, with intricate designs that seemed to come alive when lit. One evening, as the village prepared for the annual Festival of Lights, Agnes discovered that her most treasured lantern, a delicate creation adorned with shimmering jewels and golden filigree, was missing. This lantern was said to hold a magical glow that could reveal hidden truths and bring hope to those in despair. Desperate to find her lantern before the festival, Agnes asked her neighbor, a curious young girl named Lily, for help. Lily was always eager for an adventure, and she agreed to assist Agnes in the search. The two of them set out into the forest, where Agnes had last seen the lantern. The forest was filled with the sounds of chirping crickets and rustling leaves. As they ventured deeper, they came across a wise old owl perched on a gnarled branch. "Have you seen a lantern with a magical glow?" Lily asked the owl. The owl hooted thoughtfully. "To find what you seek, you must first follow the path of the moonlight and solve the riddle of the forest." The owl presented them with a riddle. "I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I?" Lily thought for a moment and answered, "A map." The owl nodded and directed them to a hidden glade where the moonlight cast a soft, silver glow. In the center of the glade stood an ancient stone pedestal with a second riddle inscribed upon it. The riddle read, "The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?" Agnes and Lily pondered the riddle, and Lily finally guessed, "Footsteps." The pedestal shifted, revealing a narrow path that led them to a magical clearing bathed in moonlight. There, they discovered a small, sparkling stream with water that seemed to twinkle like stardust. On a rock beside the stream sat the missing lantern, glowing with an ethereal light. However, as they approached, a mischievous forest sprite appeared. "That lantern is mine now," the sprite declared, clutching the lantern tightly. "I found it and wanted to keep it for myself." Lily stepped forward bravely. "We only seek to return it to its rightful owner, so it can bring light and joy to others." The sprite looked at Lily with a curious expression. "Prove that you truly deserve this lantern by showing me the light in your heart." Lily, with her pure and genuine spirit, began to speak about her love for her village and her desire to help others. Her words were filled with warmth and sincerity, and the sprite could feel the truth in her heart. "You have shown great kindness and selflessness," the sprite said, handing the lantern back to Lily. "May this lantern guide you and bring light to those in need." With the lantern safely in hand, Agnes and Lily made their way back to the village just in time for the Festival of Lights. As the lantern was lit and placed at the center of the village square, its magical glow filled the night sky with a brilliant, soothing light. The villagers gathered around, awed by the lantern's beauty and the sense of hope it brought. The festival was a great success, and the villagers celebrated not only the return of the magical lantern but also the bravery and kindness of Lily and Agnes. The story of their adventure became a cherished tale in the village, a reminder of the power of light, kindness, and the courage to seek what is right. And so, the village of the Festival of Lights continued to shine brightly, thanks to the enchanted lantern and the heartwarming tale of a young girl and her kind friend. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between rolling green hills and sparkling rivers, there was a village called Starhaven. Starhaven was known for its night skies, which were filled with countless twinkling stars. The villagers believed that their stars were special, each one granting a wish to those who believed. In the heart of Starhaven stood an ancient tower, the home of the Starkeeper, an elderly man named Eldrick. Eldrick was a wise and kind-hearted soul who spent his nights caring for the stars. He polished the stars with his magic cloth, making sure they shone brightly for all to see. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a young girl named Lila came to the tower. She was known for her curiosity and bravery. Lila had always wondered how the stars were cared for and if the tales of their magical wishes were true. "Eldrick," she called as she approached the tower, "I've heard so much about the stars. Can you tell me their secret?" Eldrick smiled warmly. "Ah, Lila, the stars are indeed magical. But their true power lies in belief and kindness." Lila's eyes widened. "Can I help you with the stars tonight?" Eldrick considered this for a moment. "Very well, but remember, the stars have their own way of revealing their magic. Follow my lead." They climbed the winding stairs of the tower to the very top, where Eldrick had a large telescope. Through the telescope, Lila saw the stars up close, their light shimmering like diamonds. "Each star," Eldrick explained, "has a tale. They watch over us, granting wishes to those with pure hearts." As Lila looked through the telescope, she noticed one star that seemed to flicker more brightly than the others. "What about that star?" she asked. Eldrick's eyes twinkled. "That is the Wish Star. It is said to grant a special wish to anyone who can truly discover its secret." Lila was intrigued. How can I discover its secret? Eldrick handed her a small, silver key. This key can unlock a secret chamber within the tower. There, you might find what you seek. With excitement, Lila hurried to the hidden door within the tower. She unlocked it with the silver key and entered a dimly lit room. Inside, there was an old, dusty book resting on a pedestal. She opened the book, revealing pages filled with mysterious symbols and drawings. As Lila examined the book, a gentle voice spoke. "Welcome, Seeker. To unlock the Wish Star's true power, you must understand the essence of wishes." The voice belonged to an ethereal figure that appeared from the book, a guardian of the stars named Seraphina. She glowed with a soft, celestial light. To unlock the Wish Star's power, Seraphina said, you must first make a wish of your own. But remember, it must be a selfless wish, one that helps others. Lila thought long and hard. She remembered the villagers in Starhaven, who had always been kind and caring. They had helped her and her family through many challenges. She realized that her wish was not for herself, but for the well-being of her village. With a deep breath, Lila made her wish aloud. "I wish for the prosperity and happiness of Starhaven and its people." The room filled with a brilliant light, and Seraphina smiled. "You have made a wish of great virtue. The Wish Star's magic will now shine brighter, and its light will bring joy and prosperity to Starhaven." Lila returned to Eldrick with a heart full of joy. The Wish Star's secret is to wish for the good of others. Eldrick nodded approvingly. "You have learned well. The true magic of the stars lies not in their light, but in the light we bring to others." As the night continued, Lila and Eldrick watched the stars together. The Wish Star gleamed more brightly than ever, casting a warm glow over Starhaven. The village thrived with newfound hope and happiness, thanks to Lila's selfless wish. From that night on, Lila became known as the Guardian of Wishes, and she continued to spread kindness and joy throughout Starhaven. Eldrick and the stars watched over her, knowing that the magic of the stars was alive and well in the hearts of those who believed. And so, in the heart of Starhaven, where the stars always shone brightly, Lila's story was told for generations to come. It was a tale of kindness, selflessness, and the true magic of wishes, reminding everyone that sometimes, the brightest stars are those that shine from within. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Luminera, there was a small village known for its radiant lanterns that glowed softly every evening, casting a warm light across the land. The lanterns were not just ordinary lights, they were believed to hold the magic of the kingdom's peace and prosperity. At the edge of the village lived a young girl named Mira. Myra's family was known for their skill in crafting lanterns, but lately, their lanterns had begun to lose their glow, and the village's prosperity had waned. Mira was determined to restore the lantern's magic and help her family. One evening, as Mira sat by the hearth, her grandmother told her an old legend. It was said that the original light of the lanterns came from the enchanted flame, a mystical fire that burned in the heart of the Whispering Mountains. To rekindle the lantern's magic, one needed to seek out this flame and bring a piece of it back. Mira decided to undertake the journey. She packed a small bag with essentials and set out the next morning, guided by the hope of restoring her village's light. The path to the Whispering Mountains was long and filled with challenges. The first challenge Mira faced was the Forest of Shadows. The forest was dark and filled with whispering shadows that could lead travelers astray. Mira was approached by a mischievous fox named Flick who offered to help her navigate the forest. "If you want my help," Flick said with a grin, "you must solve my riddle. I can fly without wings. I can cry without eyes. Whenever I go, darkness flies. What am I?" Mira thought for a moment and replied, "A cloud." Flick's eyes sparkled with delight, and he agreed to guide her through the forest. With Flick's help, Mira safely made it through the Forest of Shadows. Next, Mira arrived at the River of Reflections, a wide, shimmering river that mirrored not only the landscape but also her innermost fears and doubts. To cross the river, Mira had to confront her own worries about the journey and her ability to succeed. She took a deep breath and reminded herself of her village and her family's needs. With determination in her heart, she crossed the river using a small boat she found by the shore. After crossing the river, Mira reached the base of the Whispering Mountains. The final challenge was to climb the steep, rocky paths to reach the enchanted flame. As she climbed, she encountered a wise old mountain goat named Gora. To reach the heart of the mountain, Gora said, "You must prove your courage and perseverance. Here is the final test. What is the one thing you can hold without touching it, and that can fill a room without being seen?" Mira thought carefully and answered, "Hope." Gora nodded in approval and allowed her to continue up the mountain. With renewed determination, Mira climbed to the peak where she finally saw the enchanted flame, a brilliant, magical fire that danced with colors and light. She approached it with reverence and carefully collected a small ember in a specially prepared jar. As Mira descended the mountain, the ember of the enchanted flame glowed brightly, lighting her way. When she returned to the village, she carefully placed the ember into the heart of the largest lantern. As the ember touched the lantern's flame, a magical glow spread throughout the village, restoring the warmth and radiance of every lantern. The villagers rejoiced as their homes and streets were once again bathed in the comforting light of their lanterns. Prosperity returned to the village, and Mira's family was celebrated for their craftsmanship. Mira was hailed as a hero, and her bravery and determination were remembered as a beacon of hope. The enchanted flame continued to burn brightly in the lanterns, a lasting symbol of the village's unity and resilience. Mira's journey became a cherished tale in Luminera, inspiring others to seek out their own sources of light and hope in times of darkness. And so, the kingdom of Luminera thrived, its lanterns shining brightly with the magic of the enchanted flame, and its people lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the highest mountains and deepest seas, there was a tranquil kingdom known as Eldoria. Eldoria was renowned for its lush green fields, sparkling rivers, and the most magnificent lake anyone had ever seen. This lake was known as Starry Lake because, on clear nights, the surface sparkled as if it were filled with stars. The people of Eldoria loved the lake, for it was said to grant a single wish to anyone with a pure heart who visited it on a moonlit night. However, no one had ever made a wish, as the lake was guarded by a kind-hearted but mysterious old woman named Mirabella. Mirabella lived in a quaint cottage on the edge of the lake. She had a magical way with the creatures of the forest and was known to keep the lake's magic safe. Each evening, she would walk by the water, humming a soft tune that kept the lake's magic alive. One bright summer's day, a young girl named Elara arrived in Eldoria. Elara was an adventurous soul with dreams of discovering something extraordinary. When she heard about the legendary Starry Lake, she decided to visit it, hoping to uncover its secrets. As the sun set and the moon began to rise, Elara made her way to the lake. She saw Mirabella walking by the shore and approached her with a respectful bow. "Good evening, Lady Mirabella. I've heard many tales about the magic of Starry Lake. May I make a wish tonight?" Mirabella looked at Elara with kind eyes and said, "The lake's magic is indeed powerful, but it is not to be taken lightly. What is it that you truly seek?" Elara hesitated but then said, "I wish to discover something wonderful that will bring joy and hope to everyone in my village." Mirabella nodded and said, "A wish made with such a pure heart deserves a chance. But remember, the lake can only grant a wish if it is made for the greater good. Follow the path of moonlight, and you will find what you seek." As Mirabella spoke, she waved her hand, and a soft, glowing path appeared leading from the lake's shore into the forest. Elara followed the moonlit trail, her heart full of excitement and hope. The path led her to a hidden grove deep within the forest. In the center of the grove stood an ancient tree with leaves that shimmered like silver. At the base of the tree was a small, glowing box. Elara approached the box and carefully opened it, revealing a beautiful golden key. Just then, a gentle voice spoke from the shadows. "You have found the key to the heart of Eldoria's magic. But to unlock its power, you must solve a riddle." From behind the tree stepped a wise old fox with fur as white as snow. The fox explained, "To reveal the magic, you must answer this riddle. I am taken from a mine and shut up in a wooden case, from which I am never released, and yet I am used by almost every person. What am I?" Elara thought for a moment. She remembered that her village used a special material for writing and drawing. With a bright smile, she answered, "A pencil." The fox nodded approvingly. "You are correct. Now, use the key to open the box beneath the tree." Ilera used the golden key to unlock a hidden compartment at the base of the tree. Inside, she found a small, glowing crystal. The fox explained, "This is the Heartstone of Eldoria. It contains the magic of the land. Take it back to the lake, and it will reveal the joy and hope you seek." Ilera hurried back to Starry Lake, the crystal in hand. As she approached the shore, the lake's surface began to shimmer and glow even more brightly. The lake's magic enveloped Ilera, and she felt a warm, comforting energy. Mirabella appeared beside her and said, "You have restored the Heartstone to its rightful place. The magic of the lake now flows through Eldoria, bringing joy and hope to all who visit." Ilera smiled with satisfaction. She thanked Mirabella and the lake for granting her wish. From that day on, Starry Lake shone even more brightly, and Eldoria prospered with newfound happiness and hope. The villagers were filled with gratitude, and Ilera was celebrated as the girl who unlocked the true magic of their land. And so, the legend of Starry Lake continued to inspire all who heard it, reminding them that the greatest magic comes from a heart full of kindness and hope. Once upon a time, in a kingdom surrounded by rolling hills and lush meadows, there was a tranquil village called Elmswood. Elmswood was known for its natural beauty and the gentle stream that flowed through the heart of the village. However, the stream had a secret. It was home to an ancient, enchanted bridge that was said to grant a single wish every 100 years. The bridge was hidden from view, concealed by a dense thicket of trees and vines. Only the pure of heart and those who sought a true wish could find it. The last wish was granted a century ago, and the villagers spoke of the bridge in hushed, reverent tones. In the village lived a young girl named Mira. Mira had always been fascinated by the tales of the enchanted bridge. She was kind-hearted and always willing to help others, but she felt her life lacked a touch of magic. Her greatest wish was to find the bridge and use its magic to bring happiness to her village, which had been suffering from a drought that threatened their crops and well-being. One sunny morning, after another dry spell, Mira decided to embark on a quest to find the legendary bridge. She packed a small satchel with essentials and set out toward the edge of the village, determined to uncover the bridge's hidden location. As Mira ventured into the forest, she followed the stream's path, hoping it might lead her to the bridge. The forest was thick with the scent of pine and the song of birds, and the sun filtered through the canopy, casting dappled shadows on the ground. She carefully pushed aside branches and vines, her heart filled with hope. After hours of searching, Mira stumbled upon a clearing where the stream widened into a serene pool. At the edge of the pool, partially hidden by cascading vines, she noticed something glimmering in the water. It was a small, ornate key, encrusted with precious gems. Mira picked up the key and noticed a small inscription on its handle, "To the seeker of hope, the path will show." Intrigued, she examined the area around the pool and discovered a hidden trail that led through a thick bramble. Following the trail, Mira soon arrived at a majestic archway covered in ivy and adorned with ancient symbols. Beyond the archway, the enchanted bridge appeared, glowing with a soft, ethereal light. It was a beautiful structure made of silver and adorned with delicate carvings of stars and flowers. With a deep breath, Mira stepped onto the bridge. As she did, the bridge began to shimmer and hum, and a soft, melodic voice spoke. "Welcome, Mira. You have found the enchanted bridge. State your wish, and it shall be granted." Mira's heart raced with excitement and hope. She closed her eyes and made her wish. "I wish for rain to come to Elmswood, so the land can be restored and my village can flourish once more." The bridge's glow intensified, and the air around Mira began to fill with a gentle mist. As the magic of the bridge worked, dark clouds gathered in the sky above Elmswood. Mira watched from the bridge as raindrops began to fall, gently at first and then more steadily, soaking the parched earth below. The villagers, who had been anxiously watching the sky, were overjoyed as the rain nourished their crops and quenched their thirst. The fields soon became lush and green, and the village buzzed with renewed life and happiness. Mira returned to Elmswood as the rain poured down, her heart swelling with joy at the sight of her village thriving once more. The villagers greeted her with cheers and gratitude, amazed by the sudden turn of fortune. That evening, as Mira sat with her family and friends by the warm glow of the hearth, she looked up at the sky and saw a single, bright star shining with a gentle light. She knew it was a sign of the bridge's magic and her wish coming true. The enchanted bridge remained hidden in the forest, awaiting the next seeker of hope. Mira's act of selflessness and kindness had not only saved her village but had also brought her closer to the magic she had always believed in. She became a cherished figure in Elmswood, and her story of courage and hope was passed down through generations. And so, the village of Elmswood thrived, always remembering the magic of the enchanted bridge and the girl whose wish restored their land. The bridge's legacy lived on, a beacon of hope for all who sought its magic. In a serene valley surrounded by towering mountains and blooming meadows, there was a village known for its vibrant flowers and joyful inhabitants. At the edge of this village, near a sparkling brook, stood a magnificent willow tree. This was no ordinary tree, it was called the Whispering Willow, famed for its ability to speak and offer guidance to those in need. The villagers often spoke of the Whispering Willow's wisdom and kindness, but only a few had ever heard its gentle voice. Among these villagers was a curious and brave girl named Lyra. Lyra had always been fascinated by the tales of the Whispering Willow and dreamed of discovering its secrets. One day, a shadow fell over the village. A terrible drought had struck, and the once lush meadows and vibrant gardens were now dry and withered. The brook that flowed beside the Whispering Willow had shrunk to a mere trickle, and the villagers were growing worried. Lyra decided to visit the Whispering Willow in hopes of finding a solution to the drought. She packed a small satchel with provisions and set off towards the tree, determined to seek its wisdom. As she approached the willow, she noticed its once green leaves had turned a pale, sickly color. The branches drooped sadly, and the brook beside it had become a dry bed of stones. Lyra felt a pang of concern for the ancient tree. Whispering Willow, she called gently, "Can you hear me?" To her surprise, a soft, rustling voice answered from the tree's branches. "Yes, dear Lyra. I hear you. I have been waiting for someone with a pure heart to come and seek my counsel." Lyra's heart lifted with hope. "The village is suffering from a terrible drought. We need your help. What can we do to bring back the rain and restore our land?" The Whispering Willow sighed, its branches swaying as if in thought. "To restore the balance, you must embark on a journey to find the three elements of renewal: the crystal spring, the golden leaf, and the moonflower. These elements, when brought together, will summon the rain and rejuvenate the land." Lyra listened carefully as the Whispering Willow explained where each element could be found. The crystal spring was hidden deep in the forest, the golden leaf was guarded by a wise old fox in the hills, and the moonflower bloomed only under the light of the full moon in a secluded glade. With a determined spirit, Lyra set out on her quest. Her first destination was the forest, where she navigated through the thick undergrowth and ancient trees. After a long search, she finally discovered the crystal spring, a shimmering pool of clear, sparkling water. The spring glowed with an otherworldly light, and Lyra carefully collected a vial of its water. Next, Lyra journeyed to the hills, where she encountered the wise old fox. The fox, with its golden fur and knowing eyes, was initially wary of Lyra. However, after hearing her heartfelt plea, the fox agreed to give her the golden leaf, which was a single, radiant leaf that glimmered with a golden hue. As night fell, Lyra made her way to the secluded glade where the moonflower was set to bloom. She waited patiently as the full moon rose high in the sky. Finally, the moonflower emerged, its petals glowing softly in the moonlight. Lyra gently plucked the flower, careful not to disturb its delicate beauty. With the three elements of renewal in her possession, Lyra returned to the Whispering Willow. The tree's branches seemed to stir with renewed energy as she presented the elements. The Whispering Willow's voice was filled with gratitude. "You have done well, Lyra. Now, place the elements in the brook and let their magic flow through the land." Lyra followed the instructions, carefully placing the crystal spring's water, the golden leaf, and the moonflower into the brook. As the elements mingled with the water, a vibrant glow spread through the brook, flowing out into the meadows and fields. The land responded to the magic. Clouds gathered in the sky, and gentle rain began to fall. The once dry meadows quickly revived, and the flowers and trees burst into color. The villagers rejoiced as their gardens and fields were restored to their former glory. Lyra was hailed as a hero, but she knew that it was the wisdom of the Whispering Willow and the magic of the elements of renewal that had saved the village. She continued to visit the Whispering Willow, and in time, the tree's leaves regained their lush, green hue. The legend of Lyra and the Whispering Willow became a cherished story in the village, reminding everyone of the power of courage, kindness, and the magic that resides in the heart of nature. And so, the Whispering Willow stood tall once more, its branches whispering tales of hope and renewal to all who listened. The tale of the starlit bridge. In a serene kingdom surrounded by rolling meadows and shimmering lakes, there was a quaint village known for its peace and prosperity. But there was one mystery that intrigued everyone: the Starlit Bridge, a majestic bridge that spanned the grand river dividing the kingdom. Legend had it that the bridge was built by a celestial being and had the power to grant a single wish to those who crossed it under the light of the full moon. The Starlit Bridge was always bathed in a soft, glowing light that made it look like it was made of stars. But no one had ever been able to make a wish come true, and over time, the bridge had become a symbol of hope rather than fulfillment. In this village lived a brave and kind-hearted young woman named Alara. She was known for her beautiful voice and her love for helping others. Despite the many hardships the villagers faced, Alara always maintained a hopeful spirit, believing that the magic of the Starlit Bridge could one day be real. One evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Alara decided it was time to see if the legend was true. She carefully prepared a small pouch with a token of each person in the village: a piece of thread from a grandmother's quilt, a button from a child's coat, a feather from a farmer's hat, each item representing the hopes and dreams of her fellow villagers. With the pouch in hand and a heart full of hope, Alara made her way to the Starlit Bridge. As she stepped onto the bridge, the soft, starry glow seemed to welcome her. She walked slowly, taking in the shimmering beauty of the bridge and the reflection of the moonlight on the river below. At the center of the bridge, Alara paused and took out the pouch. She closed her eyes and whispered her wish. "I wish for the well-being and happiness of my village. May their dreams come true and may they find the prosperity they deserve." As Alara finished her wish, the bridge's light grew brighter, and a gentle breeze carried the starry glow across the river. The water began to shimmer with a radiant light, and the stars in the sky seemed to dance in harmony with the moon's reflection. Suddenly, a figure appeared before her, a graceful being with shimmering wings and a gown made of stardust. It was the celestial guardian of the Starlit Bridge. The guardian smiled warmly at Alara. "Your wish has been heard, dear child," the guardian said with a voice as gentle as the night breeze. "You have given your heart selflessly for the sake of others. Because of your pure spirit, I will grant the wish you have made." The guardian reached out and touched the pouch of tokens. As she did, the items glowed with a magical light. The stars in the sky aligned to form a beautiful constellation that seemed to bless the village with a warm, golden light. "The magic of the Starlit Bridge is not just in the wishing but in the selflessness and love you have shown," the guardian continued. "Your village will soon find the happiness and prosperity they seek." With a wave of her hand, the celestial guardian faded into the night sky, leaving Alara with a heart full of joy and hope. As she walked back to the village, she saw the first signs of change. The fields were beginning to bloom with vibrant colors, the villagers were smiling and working together, and a sense of prosperity was in the air. Alara's wish had indeed come true. The village thrived, and the Starlit Bridge became a cherished symbol of the power of selflessness and hope. The villagers celebrated with a grand feast and a festival under the stars, honoring Alara's courage and the magic of the bridge. From that day on, the story of Alara and the Starlit Bridge was told and retold, reminding everyone that the true magic of the world lies in the kindness and love we share with others. And as the stars continued to shine brightly over the bridge, the village lived in harmony and happiness, forever touched by the enchanting tale of the Starlit Bridge. and they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in the enchanted kingdom of Aveloria, there was a small village nestled at the edge of the Whispering Woods. This village was known as Willowbrook, a place where the air was always sweet with the scent of blooming flowers, and the laughter of children echoed through the cobblestone streets. Among the villagers lived a humble baker named Thomas and his daughter, Lily. Lily was a bright, curious girl with a heart as warm as her father's fresh-baked bread. Lily loved listening to her father's stories, especially the one about the magical well of wonders hidden deep within the Whispering Woods. It was said that the well had the power to grant a single wish to anyone pure of heart who could find it. Many had ventured into the woods to seek the well, but none had ever returned. One evening, as the village gathered for the harvest festival, the sky darkened, and a fierce storm swept through Willowbrook. When the storm passed, the villagers discovered that the river running through their village had dried up, leaving their crops and wells without water. Without the river, the village faced certain doom. Determined to save her village, Lily decided to seek out the Well of Wonders. With her father's blessing and a heart full of courage, she packed a small bag with bread, cheese, and a flask of water, and set off into the Whispering Woods at dawn. The woods were a place of mystery and magic, where ancient trees whispered secrets and paths twisted and turned as if they had minds of their own. As Lily ventured deeper, she encountered various creatures. First, she met a wise old owl named Orion, who perched on a low branch and hooted softly as she approached. "Young one, what brings you to the Whispering Woods?" Orion asked, his golden eyes gleaming in the dappled sunlight. "I seek the Well of Wonders to save my village," Lily replied, her voice steady with determination. Orion nodded. "The journey is fraught with peril, but your heart is pure. Follow the path of the silver leaves, and it will guide you." Thanking Orion, Lily continued her journey. She followed the path of silver leaves, which glimmered in the sunlight, leading her deeper into the heart of the forest. As night fell, she came across a clearing where a gentle stream flowed. By the stream stood a majestic stag with antlers that seemed to touch the stars. "Good evening, young traveler," the stag greeted her. "You look weary. Rest here by the stream and tell me of your quest." Lily explained her mission to the stag, who listened intently. "I seek the Well of Wonders to bring water back to my village." The stag dipped his head in acknowledgement. "Your journey is noble, and your spirit strong. Take this vial of water from the stream of serenity. It will guide you when you are lost." Grateful, Lily accepted the vial and rested by the stream before continuing her journey at dawn. She walked for hours, the forest growing denser and darker. Suddenly, she heard a faint, melodious singing. Following the sound, she stumbled upon a grove where a beautiful fairy was singing, her voice as enchanting as the forest itself. "Welcome, brave soul," the fairy said, her wings shimmering in the light. "I am Alara, guardian of the Whispering Woods. What brings you here?" Lily recounted her tale once more. "I seek the Well of Wonders to save my village from drought." Alara smiled kindly. "You have shown great courage and kindness. As a reward, I will grant you one wish. But remember, the well will only appear to those who are truly selfless." Lily thanked Alara and continued her journey, her heart filled with hope. As she walked, the forest began to change. The trees seemed to part, and a soft, glowing light appeared in the distance. Following the light, she found herself at the edge of a crystal-clear pool. In the center of the pool stood the Well of Wonders, its water sparkling like diamonds. With a deep breath, Lily approached the well. "Oh, Well of Wonders, I seek your aid to save my village from the drought. Please grant my wish for the river to flow once more." The water in the well glowed brightly, and a soothing voice echoed from within. "Your wish is pure and selfless. It shall be granted." In an instant, Lily found herself back at the edge of the Whispering Woods, the sun rising behind her. She hurried back to Willowbrook, her heart racing. As she approached the village, she heard joyful shouts and laughter. The river had returned, its waters flowing freely once more. The villagers gathered around Lily, cheering and celebrating. Thomas embraced his daughter, tears of pride and joy in his eyes. "You did it, Lily. You saved us all." From that day on, the village of Willowbrook thrived, and Lily became a beloved hero. The story of her bravery and the magical well of wonders was told for generations, a reminder of the power of a pure heart and the magic that lies within selfless acts. And so, the village lived happily ever after, their hearts forever filled with gratitude for the brave girl who ventured into the Whispering Woods and brought back the gift of life. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Leora, where the sky sparkled with stars and the moonlight danced across the land, there was a magical meadow known as the Moonlit Glade. The glade was famed for its enchanting melodies that could only be heard under the full moon, and it was said that these melodies held the power to fulfill one heart's deepest wish. In a small village on the edge of the glade lived a young girl named Arya. Arya was known for her beautiful singing voice, which could bring comfort to anyone who heard it. Despite her talent, Arya's life was filled with challenges. Her family was struggling to make ends meet, and her beloved younger brother, Leo, was sick with a mysterious illness that no healer could cure. One evening, as the full moon began to rise, Arya heard the call of the Moonlit Glade's melody. It was said that those with a true and selfless heart could discover the secret of the glade and use its magic to help others. Driven by love for her brother and hope for her family, Arya decided to venture into the glade to seek the melody's magic. With determination in her heart and a small lantern to light her way, Arya made her way to the edge of the glade as the moonlight bathed the meadow in a silvery glow. The air was filled with a soft, melodic hum that seemed to guide her steps. As she entered the glade, the melodies grew louder and more enchanting. In the center of the glade stood an ancient, majestic oak tree with branches that sparkled like stars. Hanging from the branches were luminous, silver musical notes that shimmered in the moonlight. Arya approached the tree, and as she did, the melody seemed to form words. "Only those who seek with a pure heart shall find the true melody," the tree whispered in a voice that was both gentle and wise. "To uncover the magic, you must sing from your soul and reveal your deepest wish." Arya took a deep breath and began to sing. She poured all her love and hope into her song, her voice weaving through the moonlit air. The melody she sang was one of love, longing, and a deep desire to heal her brother. The glade responded, its music harmonizing with her song, creating a magical symphony that filled the night. As Arya sang, the tree's branches began to glow brighter, and a soft, radiant light enveloped the glade. The light converged at the base of the oak tree, forming a beautiful, glowing orb. The orb floated gently towards Arya, its light casting a warm and soothing glow. "This is the moonlit melody," the tree's voice resonated. "It holds the power to grant a single wish. Use it with love and selflessness." Arya took the orb with trembling hands, her heart filled with hope and gratitude. She made her way back to her village, her lantern guiding her through the night. When she arrived home, she placed the orb beside Leo's bed and whispered her wish, "Please, heal my brother and bring happiness to my family." The orb's light enveloped Leo, and within moments, his pale face began to regain its color. His breathing steadied, and he opened his eyes, smiling weakly at his sister. The illness that had plagued him vanished, leaving him healthy and full of life once more. The news of Leo's recovery spread quickly through the village, and the entire community rejoiced. Arya's family was overjoyed, and the village came together to celebrate the miracle that had touched their lives. Arya's selflessness and love had brought about a true blessing. As the moonlight continued to shine over Leora, the moonlit glade remained a place of magic and wonder. The melodies of the glade were known to inspire hope and joy, and Arya's story became a cherished tale of the power of a pure heart and the magic of the moonlit melodies. And so, Arya lived happily with her family, her voice continuing to bring comfort and joy to those around her. The moonlit glade continued to be a place where dreams were whispered under the stars, and the magic of the moonlight was celebrated with every melody. The end. Once upon a time, in a realm where the skies were always painted in hues of pastel pinks and blues, there lived a little cloud named Nimbus. Nimbus was smaller than the other clouds, and he often felt overshadowed by their grand size and majestic shapes. Despite his small stature, Nimbus had a heart full of dreams and a desire to make a difference. One day, a fierce storm began to brew over the land. Dark clouds gathered, and the winds howled menacingly. The villagers below, who lived in a cozy village at the base of a great mountain, began to worry. They had heard stories of storms causing flooding and damage, and they knew they needed help. Nimbus watched from afar, feeling both frightened and determined. The other clouds, big and imposing, seemed indifferent to the plight of the villagers. They were content to let the storm take its course, but Nimbus couldn't bear to see the village in danger. Gathering all his courage, Nimbus decided to take action. He floated closer to the storm, using his tiny form to navigate through the chaotic winds. The storm was fierce, and Nimbus struggled against the torrents of rain and lightning. He knew he needed to find a way to help, even if he was small. As he ventured deeper into the storm, Nimbus noticed a large, dark cloud looming directly above the village. This cloud was the source of the torrential rain and lightning. Nimbus realized that if he could reach the cloud and somehow calm it, he might be able to bring relief to the village. Nimbus made his way to the dark cloud, braving the storm's fury. With every bit of strength he had, he began to gently touch the dark cloud, sending waves of soothing, soft rain instead of the harsh torrents. It was a slow process, but Nimbus's gentle approach began to make a difference. The dark clouds started to calm, and the rain lessened. In the village below, the villagers watched in awe as the storm's intensity began to wane. They saw the little cloud working tirelessly to bring the storm under control, and their worry turned into hope. They cheered for Nimbus, their hearts lifting as the storm's fury diminished. Nimbus continued his efforts until the dark cloud finally settled and the storm subsided. The skies cleared, revealing a brilliant, serene blue. The village was safe, and the damage was minimal. The villagers, though soaked and tired, were grateful and amazed by the bravery of the small cloud. Nimbus floated back to his own little corner of the sky, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment. The other clouds, now seeing Nimbus's bravery and selflessness, gathered around him. They recognized the importance of every cloud, no matter its size, and celebrated Nimbus for his courage. From that day forward, Nimbus was known as the brave little cloud throughout the realm. He continued to float through the skies with pride, always ready to help those in need, no matter how small or large the challenge might be. The villagers often looked up at Nimbus with gratitude, and the skies above were never quite the same. They were a bit brighter and filled with the knowledge that even the smallest among us can make a big difference. And so, Nimbus's tale became a cherished story, reminding everyone that bravery and kindness come in all sizes, and that even the smallest cloud can bring sunshine to the darkest storm. Once upon a time, in a picturesque village surrounded by rolling hills and vibrant meadows, there was a legend about a hidden melody that could bring peace and harmony to anyone who heard it. The melody was said to be hidden deep within a magical forest, known as the Whispering Woods, where the trees sang softly with the wind and the streams babbled gentle tunes. In this village lived a young girl named Eloan. Eloan was known for her love of music and her ability to play the lute with a grace that captivated everyone who listened. Despite her talent, she often felt that her music could be more than just beautiful notes, it could heal hearts and bring people together. So, when she heard about the hidden melody, Eloan was determined to find it and share it with her village. One bright morning, with the first light of dawn casting a golden hue over the land, Eloan set out for the Whispering Woods. She carried her lute in a small pouch of provisions, her heart filled with hope and excitement. As she entered the forest, the trees seemed to welcome her with a soft rustling, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. The forest was alive with gentle sounds, as if the trees were whispering secrets and the birds were singing in harmony. Eloan followed a winding path that led deeper into the woods. The path was lined with glowing mushrooms and delicate, luminescent flowers that seemed to guide her way. After walking for a while, Eloan arrived at a clearing where an old, wise oak tree stood. The tree's branches were adorned with shimmering leaves, and its trunk was covered in intricate carvings. As Eloan approached, she heard a soft, melodic hum emanating from the tree. "Welcome, Eloan," a gentle voice said. It was the spirit of the oak tree, glowing with a soft, golden light. To find the hidden melody, you must complete 3 tasks, each one testing a different aspect of your heart. Eloan nodded eagerly, ready to accept the challenge. The first task was the task of generosity. The spirit guided Eloan to a grove where a family of deer was struggling to find food. The grove had been depleted by the storm, and the deer were hungry. Eloan took some of the food from her pouch and scattered it around the grove. The deer approached, their eyes filled with gratitude, and soon they were eating happily. The second task was the task of courage. The spirit led Eloan to a deep, shadowy ravine where a frightened fox was trapped. The fox had ventured too close to the edge and was unable to find its way back. Eloan carefully descended into the ravine, calming the fox with her soothing voice. She helped the fox climb back up to safety, and the fox nuzzled her in thanks before disappearing into the forest. The final task was the task of wisdom. Eloan was presented with a riddle inscribed on a stone pedestal, *, I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? Star. Eloan pondered the riddle, remembering her own experiences and the lessons she had learned. After a moment of thought, she answered, a joke. The stone pedestal glowed softly, and a hidden compartment opened, revealing an old, beautifully crafted music box. With the music box in hand, Eloan returned to the oak tree. The spirit of the oak tree smiled and said, you have completed the tasks with a true heart. The hidden melody is now yours to share. Eloan opened the music box, and a delicate, enchanting tune filled the air. The melody was unlike anything she had ever heard, soothing and uplifting, with a harmony that resonated deeply. She played the melody on her lute, and the notes blended seamlessly with the music from the box. As Eloan played, the whispering woods seemed to come alive with the melody. The trees swayed gently, and the animals gathered around to listen. The music spread through the forest and beyond, reaching her village. When Eloan returned to the village, she shared the melody with her friends and family. The music brought a sense of calm and joy to everyone who heard it. The village was filled with laughter and harmony. And the bonds between the villagers grew stronger. The hidden melody became a cherished part of the village's traditions, and Eloan's music was celebrated as a gift from the whispering woods. The forest continued to hum its gentle tunes, and the village thrived in peace and unity. And so, Eloan's quest for the hidden melody became a beloved story, reminding everyone of the power of generosity, courage, and wisdom, and the magic that lies in sharing a beautiful gift. The end. The tale of the Whispering Willow. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there was a legend about a magical tree known as the Whispering Willow. This tree was said to possess the power to grant the deepest desires of those pure of heart, but only if they could find it deep within the forest where it grew, hidden from all but the bravest souls. In this village lived a young girl named Lila. She was known for her kindness and her unshakable belief in the magic of the world. Lila lived with her grandmother, who often told her stories of the Whispering Willow and the many wonders that awaited those who could find it. One day, as Lila and her grandmother sat by the fire, her grandmother told her about the Whispering Willow's most precious gift, the ability to bring back lost loved ones, if the seeker's heart was pure and their intentions noble. Grandmother, Lila asked softly, do you think the Whispering Willow could bring back my parents? Lila's parents had passed away when she was very young, and though she had grown up with love and care, she often dreamed of seeing them again. Her grandmother looked at her with gentle eyes. The Whispering Willow can do many things, my dear. But it is not the power of the tree alone, it is the love in your heart that truly matters. If you believe strongly enough, and your wish is pure, perhaps the tree will answer you. That night, as Lila lay in bed, she made up her mind. She would find the Whispering Willow and ask for her parents to return. With her heart full of hope, she set out early the next morning, leaving a note for her grandmother so she wouldn't worry. Lila journeyed into the forest, following the stories her grandmother had told her. She walked for hours, the trees growing taller and the forest denser as she went deeper. The sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting dancing shadows on the ground, and the sounds of the village faded into the distance. As she ventured further, Lila began to hear a soft whispering carried on the wind. The whispers seemed to call her name, guiding her deeper into the forest. She followed the sound, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Lila came to a small clearing. In the center of the clearing stood the most magnificent tree she had ever seen. Its trunk was wide and ancient, with bark that shimmered in the light. Its branches stretched high into the sky, and its leaves, a deep, vibrant green, rustled softly, as if whispering secrets to the wind. Lila knew at once that she had found the whispering willow. She approached the tree cautiously, her heart full of hope. "Great whispering willow," she called out, her voice trembling slightly, "I have come to ask for a wish. Please, if it is within your power, bring back my parents. I miss them so much." The tree's leaves rustled more loudly, and the whispers grew stronger. Lila listened closely and realized that the whispers were forming words. "Lila, brave and kind," the tree whispered, its voice as soft as a breeze, "your heart is pure, and your wish is full of love. But be warned, young one, that the gift you seek comes with a price. Are you willing to give up something precious to you in exchange?" Lila hesitated. She had nothing of great value, only the love in her heart and the memories of her parents. But she knew that she would give anything to see them again. "Yes," she replied firmly. "I am willing." The whispering willow's branches swayed, and its leaves shimmered with a gentle light. "Very well, Lila. For your parents to return, you must give up your memories of them. You will no longer remember the time you spent together, but they will live again." Lila felt a pang in her heart. To forget her parents, even if it meant they would be alive again, was a difficult choice. She closed her eyes and thought of her grandmother's words. It was not the power of the tree alone, but the love in her heart that mattered. After a long moment, Lila opened her eyes. "I will do it," she said, her voice steady. "If it means they can live and be happy again, I will give up my memories." The whispering willow's leaves rustled once more, and a soft light enveloped Lila. She felt a warm, comforting sensation, as if a gentle hand were guiding her. The memories of her parents, their faces, their voices, the times they had shared, began to fade, replaced by a sense of peace. When the light faded, Lila found herself standing alone in the clearing. The whispering willow was still there, its leaves whispering softly, but something had changed. She no longer felt the ache of loss, only a gentle calm. Suddenly, she heard voices behind her. Turning around, Lila saw two figures approaching from the edge of the clearing, a man and a woman, both with kind eyes and warm smiles. Though she didn't recognize them, something deep inside her told her that these were the people she had wished for. "Lila," the woman said softly, her voice full of love. "It's time to go home." Without hesitation, Lila ran to them, feeling a sense of belonging she couldn't quite explain. As they walked back through the forest together, the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the trees. Though Lila's memories were gone, her heart was full, and she knew that she had made the right choice. When they reached the village, Lila's grandmother was waiting for them. Tears of joy filled her eyes as she embraced the two strangers, knowing that her granddaughter's wish had been granted. From that day on, Lila lived happily with her new family. The whispering willow continued to stand in the forest, waiting for the next pure-hearted soul to find it. And though Lila no longer remembered her parents, the love in her heart remained, a testament to the sacrifice she had made. And so, the village continued to thrive, with the legend of the whispering willow passed down through the generations, reminding all who heard it that true magic lies not in the granting of wishes, but in the love and selflessness that makes those wishes possible. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a valley where wildflowers danced with the breeze and the air was filled with the songs of birds, there stood a majestic willow tree known as the Whispering Willow. This tree was said to be enchanted, with branches that swayed gently even when the air was still, and leaves that glistened like emeralds in the sunlight. The villagers of Meadowbrook believed that the tree could communicate with those who truly listened, sharing wisdom and granting wishes. In the heart of Meadowbrook lived a young girl named Lila. Lila was known for her kind heart and adventurous spirit. She spent her days helping her neighbors and exploring the lush countryside, always dreaming of discovering something magical. One summer evening, as the golden sun dipped below the horizon, Lila visited the Whispering Willow. She had heard stories of its magic since she was a child but had never dared to approach it alone. This evening, however, she felt a deep longing to know if the legends were true. As Lila approached the willow, she noticed that its branches seemed to beckon her closer. The leaves rustled softly, and a gentle voice, like a breeze through the branches, whispered, "Welcome, Lila. You seek something beyond the ordinary. What is it that you wish to know?" With a mixture of excitement and nervousness, Lila replied, "I want to bring happiness to my village, which has been troubled by a long drought. The fields are dry, and the river has shrunk to a mere trickle. I wish to restore the land's prosperity." The Whispering Willow's leaves shimmered with a soft, green glow. "To fulfill your wish, you must embark on a journey to find the 3 hidden treasures of the elements. Each treasure will test your courage, wisdom, and kindness." Lila's heart swelled with determination. "I will do whatever it takes." The willow's branches swayed, and a path emerged from the base of the tree, leading Lila into the forest. The first task was to find the Crystal of Courage, hidden in a cave guarded by a fierce dragon. The cave was deep and dark, and Lila's heart raced as she ventured inside. When she finally came face to face with the dragon, she discovered that it was not fearsome but sad. Its scales were dull, and its eyes were filled with sorrow. Lila approached the dragon and spoke gently, "Why are you so sad?" The dragon explained that it had lost its fiery breath due to a magical curse. Without its fire, it could no longer guard the cave properly. Lila offered to help and, using the warmth of her heart and a spark from her lantern, she rekindled the dragon's fire. Grateful and now filled with joy, the dragon gave Lila the Crystal of Courage, which sparkled with a vibrant, fiery glow. The second task led Lila to a tranquil lake where she needed to find the Pearl of Wisdom. The pearl was hidden under the water, guarded by a wise old turtle who spoke in riddles. To find the pearl, Lila had to solve the turtle's riddles, which challenged her intellect and patience. With each riddle she solved, the turtle's approval grew. Finally, Lila solved the last riddle and retrieved the Pearl of Wisdom from the lake bed. The pearl shone with a calm, serene light that filled Lila with a sense of inner peace. The final task took Lila to the highest peak of the mountain range, where she needed to find the Leaf of Kindness. The leaf was said to bloom only in the presence of true compassion. As Lila climbed the steep, icy paths, she encountered travelers who were lost and in need of help. Despite her own fatigue, Lila assisted the travelers, guiding them to safety and offering them warm food. Her acts of kindness warmed the cold mountain air, and as she reached the summit, she found the Leaf of Kindness glowing brightly among the frost-covered plants. With all 3 treasures in hand, Lila returned to the Whispering Willow. The tree's branches danced with excitement as she presented the Crystal of Courage, the Pearl of Wisdom, and the Leaf of Kindness. The willow absorbed their magic, and a powerful energy began to flow through the land. The drought began to lift, and rain clouds gathered over Meadowbrook. The fields were soon lush and green, and the river flowed freely once more. The villagers rejoiced, celebrating the return of prosperity and the magic that Lila had restored. Lila's bravery, wisdom, and kindness became legendary in Meadowbrook, and the Whispering Willow continued to watch over the village, sharing its wisdom with those who listened. And so, Meadowbrook thrived under the care of the Whispering Willow, and Lila's story was told for generations as a reminder of the magic that exists within a pure heart and the power of selfless acts. Once upon a time, in a peaceful valley surrounded by lush green hills, there was a small village named Harmony. Harmony was a special place, known for its vibrant flowers, crystal-clear streams, and the sweet melodies that filled the air from dawn till dusk. The source of these enchanting tunes was a magical violin that had been passed down through generations. The violin belonged to a humble and talented musician named Eleanor. She lived in a cozy cottage at the edge of the village with her cat, Pippin. Eleanor's music was the heart of harmony, bringing joy to everyone who heard it. The villagers often gathered in the village square to listen to her play, and they believed that the violin had the power to heal and bring peace. One day, as Eleanor was practicing a new piece by the river, a strange and ominous fog rolled into the valley. The fog was thick and gray, swallowing the vibrant colors of the land and muting the usual sounds of nature. The villagers grew worried as their once lively home became eerily quiet. Eleanor noticed that her violin, once so full of life, now sounded dull and out of tune. She realized that the fog was not just a weather phenomenon, it was a curse. Desperate to restore her beloved village, Eleanor decided to seek the source of the fog and lift the curse. Guided by the faint melodies of her violin, Eleanor set off into the forest. She followed a winding path that led deeper into the woods, where the trees grew taller and the air felt heavier. The fog thickened, and the forest seemed to close in around her. Eleanor felt a shiver of fear but pressed on, determined to save harmony. As she ventured further, she came across an ancient, gnarled tree with silver leaves that glowed faintly in the fog. At the base of the tree was a small door, intricately carved with symbols of musical notes and stars. Eleanor knew that this must be the entrance to the source of the curse. With a deep breath, she opened the door and stepped inside. The room beyond was a cavern filled with crystals that reflected the faintest hint of light. In the center of the cavern stood a dark figure hunched over an old, broken violin. The figure was none other than a lonely spirit named Seraphim, who had once been a great musician but had been cursed to live in solitude for his sorrowful music. Seraphim looked up, his eyes filled with a deep sadness. "Why have you come here?" he asked, his voice echoing in the cavern. Eleanor, though nervous, spoke with compassion. "I came to lift the curse that has fallen over my village. Your music has brought darkness to harmony, and I believe that if you play the violin again, you can help restore the light." Seraphim's eyes softened, and he looked at his broken violin. "I have not played in years," he said. "My music has been tainted by my grief. I am afraid it will only bring more sorrow." Eleanor stepped closer, holding out her own violin. "Let us play together. Music has a way of healing and transforming. Perhaps if we combine our melodies, we can lift the curse and restore harmony to both our lives." With a hopeful heart, Seraphim agreed. He took Eleanor's violin and began to play, while Eleanor played along with her own. The sound of their combined music filled the cavern, weaving a beautiful and poignant melody. The crystals around them began to glow brighter, and the fog that had suffocated the valley began to lift. As the final notes of their duet echoed through the cavern, the fog vanished completely, revealing the vibrant colors of the valley once more. The spirit of Seraphim was freed from his curse, and his sorrowful expression transformed into one of peace and joy. Eleanor and Seraphim emerged from the cavern to find the village of harmony bathed in sunlight and vibrant colors. The villagers gathered around, cheering and celebrating the return of their beloved music. Seraphim, now free from his curse, joined the villagers in their celebrations. He thanked Eleanor for her kindness and for helping him rediscover the joy of music. Eleanor and Seraphim became close friends, and together they played beautiful melodies that filled harmony with happiness and peace. From that day on, the village thrived with renewed energy and joy. The magical violin was cherished more than ever, and the enchanting melodies continued to bring people together. Eleanor's bravery and compassion, along with the healing power of music, had restored light and harmony to the land. And so, under the warm glow of the sun and the soothing tunes of the violin, harmony lived happily ever after, a testament to the power of kindness, music, and the magic that lies within a pure heart. Once upon a time, in a serene village by the edge of a vast forest, there lived a young girl named Lyra. Lyra had a gift. She could sing in a way that made flowers bloom and the sky light up with colors. Her melodies were cherished by the villagers, who often gathered to listen to her songs. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the land, Lyra received a mysterious letter. It was written in silver ink on parchment that shimmered like moonlight. The letter spoke of a magical lake hidden deep in the forest, known as the Moonlit Lake. It was said that the lake held a melody so enchanting that it could bring peace to any troubled heart. Intrigued, Lyra decided to find the lake and discover the melody for herself. She set off with a small satchel of provisions and a lantern to guide her through the darkening forest. The path was not easy. The forest was thick with tangled vines and twisting roots. As Lyra ventured deeper, she encountered a mischievous fox named Felix, who was playing with a glowing orb. "Hello, little fox," Lyra greeted. "Do you know the way to the Moonlit Lake?" Felix tilted his head and grinned. "I might, but it's not so simple. The forest is enchanted, and only those who show kindness will find the way." Lyra nodded, understanding the challenge. "I will help you with your orb if you guide me to the lake." Felix agreed, and together they set off. Along the way, they came across a clearing where a family of birds had built a nest, but the wind had blown it down. Lyra gently helped the birds rebuild their home, and in return, Felix led her to a hidden path. As they continued, they encountered a gnarled old tree with a face etched into its bark. The tree, named Elderwood, spoke in a deep, rumbling voice. "To pass, you must answer my riddle. I am taken from a mine, and shut up in a wooden case, from which I am never released, and yet I am used by almost every person. What am I?" Lyra thought for a moment and then answered, "A pencil." Elderwood's eyes twinkled with approval, and he allowed them to pass. The path grew narrower and more winding, but Felix's glowing orb lit the way. Finally, they reached a moonlit glade where the moonlit lake shimmered like liquid silver. The lake was surrounded by luminescent flowers and glowing fireflies. At its center was a small island with an ancient, ornate harp resting on a pedestal. The air was filled with a soft, soothing hum. Lyra approached the harp and began to play. As her fingers danced across the strings, the melody that emerged was the most beautiful thing she had ever heard. It was as if the music was woven from the very essence of the moonlight and the stars. As Lyra played, the moonlit lake began to glow brighter, and a gentle mist rose from its surface. The mist formed into a delicate, ethereal figure, a spirit of the lake who spoke with a voice like a gentle breeze. "Thank you, Lyra," the spirit said. "You have awakened the true magic of the lake with your pure heart and beautiful music. The melody of the moonlit lake is meant to heal and bring peace. You are now its guardian." Lyra felt a deep sense of peace and purpose. She played the harp one last time, and the melody spread throughout the forest, touching every corner with its calming influence. The forest itself seemed to sigh with relief as the enchantment brought harmony to the land. Felix and Elderwood congratulated her, and the spirit of the lake bestowed upon Lyra a silver locket, shaped like a crescent moon. "This locket will remind you of the magic you have unlocked and the peace you have spread." With the locket around her neck and Felix by her side, Lyra made her way back to the village. The forest seemed brighter and more alive, and the villagers were enchanted by the calming magic that now permeated their home. Lyra continued to share her gift of music, and the melody of the moonlit lake became a cherished part of her songs. The village thrived in peace and harmony, and the magic of the lake lived on through Lyra's melodies. And they lived happily ever after. The end. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the edge of the world, there was a vast and mystical forest known as Eldergrove. Eldergrove was no ordinary forest, it was enchanted. Magic shimmered in the air, and the trees whispered secrets to those who listened closely. It was a place where fairies danced, and animals spoke in gentle tones. In the heart of Eldergrove lived a small but brave squirrel named Finn. Finn was known throughout the forest for his courage and kindness. He had tiny, bushy tails that flicked with excitement whenever he was on an adventure. His bright eyes sparkled with curiosity, and he had a knack for solving puzzles that left even the wisest creatures stumped. One sunny morning, the harmony of Eldergrove was disrupted by an unusual sight. A dark cloud hung over the forest, and an ominous silence replaced the usual cheerful chatter of the woodland creatures. The magical river Lumina, which sparkled with enchanted light, had lost its glow. Without its light, the forest was at risk of being swallowed by darkness. the wise old owl, Orion, who had seen many moons, called a meeting of all the forest creatures. They gathered in a clearing, their faces etched with concern. Orion explained that the source of the river Lumina's magic, the crystal of light, had been stolen. Without it, the river could no longer shine, and the forest would fall into eternal night. "We need someone brave to retrieve the crystal," Orion declared, "and restore the light to our river." Finn, who had been listening intently, stepped forward. "I will retrieve the crystal and restore the light," he said firmly. The forest creatures cheered, their spirits lifting for the first time in days. Orion gave Finn a small, shimmering map that would guide him through the enchanted forest, past the gloomy glade, and to the mountain of shadows, where the crystal was believed to be hidden. With the map secured and his heart full of courage, Finn set off on his journey. Finn's first challenge came at the enchanted forest's edge. The trees there were ancient and wise, but also known to be mischievous. To pass, Finn had to answer a riddle posed by the guardian oak, a massive, gnarled tree. "What has keys but can't open doors, has a heart but never beats, and when lost, brings sorrow?" the guardian oak asked. Finn thought for a moment, then replied, "A piano." The guardian oak nodded approvingly and allowed Finn to pass. As Finn continued, he reached the gloomy glade, a dark and eerie part of the forest where the shadows seemed to have a life of their own. Here, Finn encountered a friendly, though slightly grumpy, firefly named Lumi. Lumi's light was faint but offered Finn a glimmer of hope. "I'll help you find your way through the gloomy glade," Lumi offered, "but only if you can solve another riddle." Finn agreed, and Lumi asked, "What is light as a feather, yet the strongest man can't hold it for much more than a minute?" With a smile, Finn answered, "Breath." Lumi's light brightened, and together, they made their way through the glade, where the darkness seemed less daunting with Lumi's guidance. The next leg of the journey led Finn to the mountain of shadows. The path was steep and treacherous, with rocks that seemed to whisper doubts into his ears. Finn was tired but determined. As he climbed, he spotted a small, glowing creature caught in a tangle of thorns. It was a fairy named Alara, known for her delicate beauty and kind heart. "I'm so grateful you found me," Alara said. "The thorns are enchanted and won't release me. If you help me, I can guide you to the crystal's hiding place." Finn freed Alara from the thorns, and she led him to a hidden cave within the mountain. Inside, the cave was filled with a soft, golden light, and there, resting on a pedestal, was the crystal of light. Just as Finn was about to take the crystal, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness. It was the forest's former protector, who had turned to darkness and stolen the crystal in his quest for power. A fierce battle of wits ensued, with the dark figure trying to confuse Finn with illusions. But Finn remembered the lessons he had learned along his journey. Using his bravery and quick thinking, he outsmarted the dark figure, revealing the truth and restoring the crystal to its rightful place. The dark figure vanished, leaving Finn triumphant. With the crystal safely in his possession, Finn and Alara returned to Eldergrove. The moment the crystal touched the river Lumina, the river burst back into its radiant, shimmering light. The darkness lifted from the forest, and the creatures of Eldergrove rejoiced. Orion, the wise old owl, declared Finn a hero, and a grand celebration was held in his honor. The forest was restored to its former glory, and Finn's bravery was celebrated throughout the land. From that day on, Finn continued to be a guardian of the forest, ever ready for new adventures and always ready to help those in need. And Eldergrove thrived in the glow of the river Lumina, forever grateful to the brave little squirrel who had saved their world. And so, the enchanted forest remained a place of magic and wonder, where the light never faded and the spirit of bravery shone as brightly as ever. Once upon a time, in a hidden valley surrounded by misty mountains, there lay a small village where the moonlight shimmered with a magical glow. In this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Lila, who loved exploring the woods and listening to the songs of the forest creatures. One evening, while wandering through the moonlit forest, Lila stumbled upon a peculiar lantern half buried under a blanket of fallen leaves. It was an old brass lantern with intricate designs, its glass panels sparkling as if they were catching the light of 1,000 stars. Curious, Lila picked it up, and as she did, the lantern began to glow warmly. A gentle, melodic voice emanated from the lantern. "Thank you for finding me. I am Lumina, the guardian of lost dreams. For many years, I've been waiting for someone pure of heart to help me." Lila was amazed. "A guardian of lost dreams? How can I help?" Lumina explained that she had been trapped in the lantern by an envious sorcerer who wanted to steal the dreams she protected. To break the enchantment, Lila had to embark on a quest to restore the lantern's magical power by retrieving 3 sacred gems: the Ruby of Courage, the Sapphire of Wisdom, and the Emerald of Kindness. Determined to help Lumina, Lila set off on her quest. Her first destination was the Cave of Echoes, where the Ruby of Courage was hidden. The cave was dark and filled with the echoes of the past. Inside, Lila found a fierce dragon guarding a shimmering ruby. Instead of using force, Lila approached the dragon with kindness and spoke to it about her quest and her desire to help. Moved by her bravery and sincerity, the dragon agreed to give her the Ruby of Courage. Next, Lila journeyed to the Mountain of Wisdom. She climbed the steep slopes and reached a secluded temple where the Sapphire of Wisdom was kept. The wise old guardian of the temple tested Lila's knowledge with riddles and challenges. Lila answered each question with thoughtful answers, and the guardian, impressed by her wisdom, handed her the sapphire. Her final destination was the Glade of Kindness, a beautiful meadow where the Emerald of Kindness was said to be hidden. In the glade, Lila found a magical tree whose branches were heavy with glowing emeralds. The tree spoke to her and explained that to receive the emerald, she must show true kindness to someone in need. As Lila wandered through the meadow, she came across a young, lost fawn. It was trembling and hungry. Lila gently cared for the fawn, sharing the food she had brought with her and guiding it back to its family. The fawn's mother, grateful for Lila's kindness, gave her the Emerald of Kindness. With all 3 gems in hand, Lila returned to the lantern. Lumina's voice filled the air with joy as Lila placed the gems into their rightful places on the lantern. The lantern's glow grew brighter and brighter, filling the forest with a warm, enchanting light. As the spell was broken, Lumina emerged from the lantern in a swirl of stardust and shimmering light. She thanked Lila for her bravery and kindness. "You have restored my magic and helped me return to my duty of guiding lost dreams." Lila smiled. "I'm glad I could help. What will happen to the lantern now?" Lumina looked at Lila with gratitude. "The lantern will remain here as a beacon of hope and dreams. And whenever you need guidance or wish to dream, just look into its light, and it will guide you." From that day on, the enchanted lantern was a source of inspiration and comfort for the villagers. Lila continued to explore the forest and listen to its songs, knowing that the lantern's light would always be there to guide her. And so, the magic of the lantern and the bravery of a kind-hearted girl became a cherished story passed down through the generations, a reminder that even the smallest act of kindness could illuminate the darkest of places. The end. Once upon a time, in a serene valley surrounded by misty mountains, there was a quaint village called Everbrook. The villagers lived simple but happy lives, but they were always enchanted by the legends of a hidden kingdom that lay beyond the mountains. According to the tales, this kingdom was filled with untold wonders and was ruled by a wise and benevolent queen. The key to finding this magical land was a mystical silver bell that was said to ring only when the time was right. In Everbrook lived a curious and brave young girl named Elowen. Elowen had always been fascinated by the stories of the hidden kingdom and dreamed of finding it. Her grandmother had told her that the silver bell had been lost for generations, and many had tried to find it but to no avail. One evening, as the village prepared for the harvest festival, Elowen discovered an old, ornate box hidden in the attic of her home. Inside the box was a beautiful silver bell, its surface engraved with intricate patterns that sparkled in the dim light. Excited and filled with hope, Elowen rang the bell. The sound was melodious and clear, and to her amazement, a soft, glowing mist began to form around her. The mist swirled and thickened until it revealed a hidden pathway leading up into the mountains. With a heart full of anticipation, Elowen packed a small bag with essentials and set off on the path with her loyal cat, Moonshadow, by her side. As Eloan journeyed through the misty mountains, the path grew steeper and the air colder. The mist seemed to guide her, leading her through ancient forests and over babbling brooks. Eventually, she arrived at a towering gate adorned with silver vines and shimmering crystals. The gate was closed, but the bell in Eloan's hand began to ring softly. The sound of the bell resonated through the gate, and it slowly creaked open, revealing a hidden kingdom bathed in a soft, golden light. The kingdom was breathtaking, lush gardens with flowers of every color, sparkling streams, and majestic castles that seemed to touch the sky. Eloan stepped through the gate and found herself in a grand courtyard where a beautiful, ethereal queen awaited her. The queen, with her flowing silver robes and a crown that glowed like the stars, greeted Eloan with a warm smile. "Welcome, brave traveler. I am Queen Seraphina of the Hidden Kingdom. The time has come for us to reveal ourselves to the world beyond the mountains." Eloan bowed respectfully. "Your Majesty, I found the silver bell and followed its call. I wish to learn about your kingdom and how I might help." Queen Seraphina's eyes sparkled with gratitude. "Long ago, our kingdom was hidden to protect it from darkness and harm. The silver bell was our guide and our safeguard. With the bell's return, we can now share our magic and wisdom with the world." The queen then explained that the hidden kingdom had a special task for Eloan. The land's magic had begun to wane, and they needed someone with a pure heart and unwavering spirit to help restore it. The task was to find 3 magical artifacts scattered throughout the kingdom: the Crystal of Light, the Pendant of Harmony, and the Book of Wisdom. Eloan accepted the challenge with determination. Her first quest was to find the Crystal of Light, hidden in the depths of the enchanted cavern. The cavern was illuminated by glowing crystals and echoed with the sound of dripping water. After navigating through the dazzling cavern, Eloan discovered the Crystal of Light resting on a pedestal, its glow casting a serene light over the entire cavern. Next, Eloan sought the Pendant of Harmony, located in the Whispering Grove, where the trees were said to communicate in gentle murmurs. By listening carefully to the whispers, Eloan followed the clues and found the pendant hanging from a branch of the oldest tree in the grove, its gentle glow resonating with the harmony of the forest. The final artifact was the Book of Wisdom, which was hidden in the Sky Tower, a tall, spiral tower reaching into the clouds. Climbing the tower was a test of endurance, but Eloan's resolve never wavered. At the top, she found the Book of Wisdom on a grand, ornate table, its pages filled with ancient knowledge and glowing runes. With all 3 artifacts in hand, Eloan returned to the queen. Queen Seraphina used the artifacts to perform a powerful ceremony, restoring the kingdom's magic and ensuring that it would continue to thrive and share its wonders with the world. In gratitude, Queen Seraphina offered Eloan a special gift, a golden locket that would allow her to visit the hidden kingdom whenever she wished. Eloan returned to Everbrook with tales of her adventure and the promise of a new era of friendship and magic between the kingdom and the outside world. Everbrook flourished with the newfound magic, and the hidden kingdom became a cherished ally. Eloan's bravery and kindness were celebrated throughout the land, and the story of the Silver Bell and the Hidden Kingdom became a beloved legend. And so, the kingdom's magic continued to inspire and enchant, a reminder of the power of courage, kindness. Once upon a time, in a kingdom surrounded by dense, ancient forests, there was a hidden realm known as the Forest of Whispers. This magical forest was known for its talking animals and enchanted creatures, but most of all, it was famous for its elusive, shimmering tree of wishes. The tree was said to grant one true wish to anyone who could find it and speak from their heart. In a small village on the edge of this forest lived a brave young boy named Finn. Finn had always dreamed of exploring the Forest of Whispers, but the village elders warned that it was a place of great magic and danger. Yet, Finn was determined to find the Tree of Wishes and help his village, which had been suffering from a long, harsh winter. One cold, snowy morning, Finn decided it was time to act. With a warm cloak and a satchel of supplies, he set out for the Forest of Whispers. As he entered the forest, he was greeted by a chorus of whispering leaves and a gentle breeze that seemed to guide him forward. The first creature he encountered was a wise old owl perched on a low branch. The owl's eyes twinkled with curiosity. To find the Tree of Wishes, the owl hooted, You must pass through 3 trials, each revealing something important about yourself. Finn nodded and prepared for the first trial. He followed the owl's directions and soon arrived at a glistening, crystal-clear lake. At the center of the lake was a small, shimmering island with a single, beautiful flower growing upon it. The challenge was to retrieve the flower without disturbing the serene waters. Finn noticed a family of swans swimming peacefully around the island. He realized that if he were careful and patient, he could use a small boat to reach the island. He crafted a simple raft from fallen branches and gently paddled across, taking care not to upset the swans. When he reached the island, he picked the flower with great care and returned to the shore, having successfully completed the first trial. The second trial was set in a clearing where a large stone gate stood, covered in ancient runes. To open the gate, Finn needed to solve a riddle carved into the stone. I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but I need water to survive. What am I? Finn thought for a moment and answered, a fire. The stone gate creaked open, revealing a path that led deeper into the forest. Finn followed the path, guided by the whispers of the forest and the faint glow of the moonlight. The third and final trial took Finn to a misty glade where the air was thick with enchantment. In the center of the glade stood a large, ancient tree with gnarled branches and glowing eyes. It was the Tree of Wishes itself, but it was surrounded by a barrier of magical mist. To approach the tree, Finn had to confront his deepest fear. As he neared the mist, he felt a wave of doubt and uncertainty. The fear of failure and the burden of his village's troubles weighed heavily on him. Finn took a deep breath and spoke aloud, acknowledging his fear and his sincere wish to help his village. The mist began to clear, and the Tree of Wishes spoke in a gentle, melodic voice. You have faced your fears with bravery and honesty. Your heart is pure, and your wish is noble. Speak your true wish. Finn stepped forward and said, I wish for my village to have warmth and prosperity, so that the harsh winter will end and we may all thrive together. The Tree of Wishes shimmered with a brilliant light. A warm, golden glow spread from the tree, traveling through the forest and reaching the village. The snow began to melt, the rivers flowed once more, and the village was soon surrounded by lush, green fields. When Finn returned to his village, he was greeted with joy and celebration. The villagers marveled at the sudden transformation and thanked Finn for his bravery and selflessness. The village flourished with the new warmth and abundance, and Finn's adventure became a beloved story passed down through generations. The Forest of Whispers remained a place of wonder and magic, and the Tree of Wishes continued to grant its gifts to those who approached with pure hearts. And so, the kingdom thrived, and Finn's courage and kindness were remembered as a beacon of hope and unity. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a serene valley surrounded by majestic mountains and lush forests, there was a village named Eldergrove. Eldergrove was a place of enchantment and mystery, known far and wide for its spectacular lantern festival. Every year, on the eve of the winter solstice, the villagers would light their lanterns and set them afloat on the river, believing they would guide their wishes to the stars. At the edge of the village lived a young girl named Mira. Mira was known for her kindness and curiosity. Despite the beauty of Eldergrove, she often wondered about the world beyond the valley. Her grandmother had told her stories of an ancient lantern, the Lantern of Everlight, which was said to possess the power to grant one true wish to anyone who found it. Mira dreamed of discovering this lantern and using its magic to bring happiness to her village. One crisp winter evening, as the first snowflakes began to fall, Mira decided it was time to embark on a journey to find the Lantern of Everlight. She prepared a small satchel with essentials, some bread, a warm cloak, and a tiny, hand-carved wooden lantern given to her by her grandmother. With a heart full of hope, she set off into the forest. As Mira ventured deeper into the woods, she noticed the path was lined with shimmering, frost-covered trees and glowing, enchanted fireflies. The air was crisp and clear, and the stars twinkled brightly above, guiding her way. She followed the path until she came across a sparkling brook with crystal-clear water. At the brook's edge, Mira found a wise old fox with a coat that glowed like moonlight. The fox spoke with a gentle voice, to find the Lantern of Everlight, you must first solve 3 riddles. Each riddle will bring you closer to your goal." Mira nodded eagerly, ready for the challenge. The fox began with the first riddle. "I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Mira thought for a moment and answered, "A map." The fox's eyes sparkled with approval. And it handed her a silver compass. "This will guide you on your journey," said the fox. With the compass in hand, Mira continued her journey. The path led her to a grand, ancient oak tree with a hollow trunk. Inside the hollow was a shimmering scroll and the second riddle: "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Mira pondered the riddle and then answered, "A joke." The scroll unfurled and revealed a path marked with glowing stones leading deeper into the forest. Following the glowing stones, Mira reached a serene, moonlit meadow. In the center of the meadow stood a beautiful, silver tree with delicate, star-shaped leaves. Beneath the tree was a small, golden chest with an intricate lock. The final riddle was written on a parchment inside the chest: "The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?" Mira thought carefully and answered, "Footsteps." The chest's lock clicked open, and inside, she found a small, radiant lantern with a heart-shaped gem at its center. As Mira held the lantern up, it began to glow with a warm, golden light. The lantern's light grew brighter and brighter, filling the meadow with a soothing, magical glow. Suddenly, a soft, melodious voice filled the air: "Congratulations, Mira. You have found the Lantern of Everlight. It is yours to use." Mira's heart swelled with joy. She wished for her village to be filled with happiness and prosperity. As she made her wish, the lantern's light enveloped her and began to float upward, carrying her wish to the stars. When Mira returned to Eldergrove, she was greeted with astonished faces. The village was transformed. The once dry fields were now lush and green, the river sparkled with a new, magical light, and the villagers were filled with an inexplicable joy and harmony. Mira's adventure became the stuff of legends in Eldergrove. The Lantern of Everlight was placed in a special place in the village, where it served as a symbol of hope and the magic of selfless wishes. Every winter solstice, the villagers gathered around the lantern, lighting their own lanterns and sending them afloat on the river, inspired by Mira's bravery and the enchantment of the Lantern of Everlight. And so, under the shimmering stars and the soft glow of the lanterns, Eldergrove thrived, its people forever grateful for the magic that had brightened their lives and the spirit of a young girl who believed in the power of a wish. Once upon a time, in a kingdom surrounded by rolling hills and dense forests, there was a small, tranquil village called Willowbrook. Willowbrook was famous for its extraordinary willow tree, known as the Whispering Willow. The tree's branches were said to hold the secrets of the past, present, and future, and its leaves rustled with soft, mystical whispers that guided the villagers. In Willowbrook lived a kind-hearted young girl named Lila. Lila was known for her compassion and her love for animals. She spent her days helping her family and caring for the village's stray animals. Every evening, she would sit beneath the whispering willow and listen to its gentle whispers, which she believed held wisdom for those who sought it with a pure heart. One day, as Lila was tending to a wounded fox she had found in the forest, she overheard a troubling conversation among the village elders. They spoke of a dark shadow spreading across the kingdom, threatening to cover the land in eternal darkness. The only way to stop it, they said, was to find the lost star, a magical artifact that had been hidden away centuries ago. Lila felt a surge of determination. She knew that if the lost star could bring light back to the kingdom, she had to find it. With the support of her family and friends, she set off on a quest to locate the artifact. The Whispering Willow had mentioned that the lost star was hidden in a hidden realm, accessible only through the Enchanted Forest. The Enchanted Forest was known for its mystical creatures and magical barriers. As Lila ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered a series of magical challenges. First, she met a mischievous sprite who challenged her with a riddle. "I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I?" Lila thought carefully and answered, "A map." The sprite's eyes twinkled with approval. "You may pass." Next, Lila crossed paths with a gentle giantess who blocked her way. The giantess had lost her way in the forest and was searching for a special flower that only bloomed under the moonlight. Lila agreed to help the giantess find the flower, and in return, the giantess guided her through the forest's treacherous paths. Finally, Lila reached a shimmering, moonlit glade where the entrance to the hidden realm was said to be located. She encountered a wise old owl perched on a grand oak tree. The owl spoke in a soft, melodic voice. "To enter the hidden realm, you must show your heart's true intention. What do you seek most dearly?" Lila replied honestly, "I seek to bring light and hope to my kingdom and save it from the encroaching darkness." The owl nodded and spread its wings, revealing a glowing portal hidden within the tree. Lila stepped through the portal and found herself in a realm of dazzling light and vibrant colors. At the center of this realm was a magnificent crystal, radiating a brilliant, warm light, the lost star. As Lila approached the crystal, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness. It was the Sorcerer of Shadows, who had been spreading the darkness across the kingdom. The sorcerer's eyes gleamed with malice as he said, "You think you can take the lost star from me? I've worked too hard to bring about eternal night." Lila stood her ground. "The lost star belongs to the people of the kingdom. Its light will bring hope and joy, not darkness." The sorcerer laughed, but his laughter was interrupted by the soft glow of the lost star, which seemed to resonate with Lila's courage and determination. The light from the crystal began to push back the shadowy figure, growing stronger with each step Lila took toward it. Realizing he could not compete with the pure light of the lost star, the sorcerer was forced to retreat into the darkness, vowing to return. Lila took the lost star and made her way back to Willowbrook, where the villagers greeted her with cheers and joy. When Lila placed the lost star at the heart of the village, its light spread across the kingdom, banishing the darkness and restoring hope to the land. The whispering willow's leaves rustled with approval, and the kingdom thrived once more. Lila's bravery and selflessness became a celebrated tale in Willowbrook, and the kingdom was forever grateful for her courage. The lost star's light continued to shine brightly, a beacon of hope and joy for all. And so, Lila, the whispering willow, and the people of Willowbrook lived happily ever after, surrounded by the warmth and light of their restored kingdom. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a kingdom surrounded by rolling hills and enchanted forests, there was a bustling village named Fernwood. Fernwood was known for its vibrant gardens, warm-hearted people, and the mysterious moonlit grove at the edge of the village. The grove was said to be a place of magic and wonder, visited only when the moon was full. In Fernwood lived a kind-hearted girl named Elara. Elara was known for her love of animals and her curiosity about the world. Every month, on the night of the full moon, she would visit the moonlit grove, hoping to uncover its secrets. One evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Elara ventured into the grove, guided by its soft, silver light. As she wandered among the ancient trees, she noticed a faint, melodious tune coming from deep within the grove. Following the music, she discovered a hidden clearing bathed in moonlight. In the center of the clearing was a beautiful, glowing pond. Around the pond danced tiny, ethereal fairies whose wings sparkled like diamonds. At the edge of the pond, on a grand stone pedestal, was a magnificent crystal known as the Moonstone. Its light was mesmerizing, casting gentle reflections across the water. As Elara approached the Moonstone, a soft, musical voice spoke from the pond. "Welcome, Elara. You have been chosen for a special task." Elara looked around in awe. "Who are you? How do you know my name?" The voice responded, "I am the guardian of the Moonstone. The Moonstone holds the power to protect our world from encroaching darkness, but its magic has begun to fade. To restore its power, you must embark on a journey to find the lost fragments of the Moonstone scattered across the kingdom." Elara felt a surge of excitement and determination. "I will find the fragments and restore the Moonstone's magic." The guardian nodded. "Your first fragment is hidden in the Whispering Caves, deep within the Frosted Mountains. Each fragment is guarded by a challenge that will test your heart and courage. With a newfound sense of purpose, Elara set off on her quest. Her journey took her through the frosted mountains, where she braved icy winds and treacherous paths to reach the Whispering Caves. Inside the caves, she encountered a labyrinth of shimmering ice formations. At the heart of the labyrinth, Elara found the first fragment of the Moonstone, encased in a block of ice. To retrieve it, she had to solve a riddle spoken by a magical ice spirit. I am not alive, but I grow. I do not have lungs, but I need air. I do not have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I? Elara thought carefully and answered, a fire. The ice spirit granted her passage, and Elara retrieved the fragment. She continued her journey, guided by the light of the Moonstone. The second fragment was hidden in the enchanted forest, guarded by a wise old tree. The tree posed a challenge that required Elara to demonstrate her kindness. A small, injured squirrel needed help, and Elara carefully tended to its wounds and provided it with food. The grateful squirrel led her to the second fragment, hidden beneath its nest. Elara's final challenge took her to the desert of shifting sands. The last fragment was buried in the vast desert, and she had to navigate the ever-changing dunes to find it. Along the way, she encountered a weary traveler in need of assistance. Elara shared her provisions and guided the traveler to safety, earning the traveler's gratitude and the final fragment. With all three fragments in hand, Elara returned to the moonlit grove. The fairies greeted her with joy, and she placed the fragments around the Moonstone. As the fragments were set in place, the Moonstone's light grew brighter and more vibrant, filling the grove with a warm, protective glow. The guardian of the Moonstone appeared and thanked Elara. You have restored the Moonstone's power and saved our world from darkness. Your bravery and kindness have proven your worth. Elara smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. The Moonstone's magic continued to shine brightly, protecting Fernwood and its surrounding lands. Elara returned to her village as a hero, and her tale of adventure and bravery became a cherished story in Fernwood. The moonlit grove remained a place of wonder and magic, and Elara's kindness and courage continued to inspire all who heard her story. And so, the kingdom flourished under the protection of the Moonstone, and Elara's heart remained full of adventure and joy. And they all lived happily ever after. In a lush, green valley surrounded by majestic mountains and sparkling streams, there was a peaceful village named Rivermist. The villagers were known for their harmony with nature and their joyful spirits. Among them was a young woman named Elara, who worked as a skilled cartographer. She had a special gift for drawing maps that captured not just the geography but the essence of the places she charted. One misty morning, while Elara was exploring a forgotten trail on the outskirts of the village, she stumbled upon an old, moss-covered chest buried beneath a tangle of ivy. The chest was intricately carved with symbols of stars and compass roses. Elara's heart raced with excitement as she carefully pried it open. Inside, she found an ornate compass that seemed to hum with a gentle, magical energy. The compass was unlike any Elara had ever seen. Its needle spun slowly, pointing not just north but to something elusive. An inscription on the back of the compass read, "Follow the compass to where hearts are true, and secrets of the world will be revealed to you." Curious and intrigued, Elara decided to embark on a quest to discover where the compass would lead. She packed a small satchel with essentials, some food, a warm cloak, and her trusty map-making tools. With the enchanted compass in hand, she set off towards the unknown. As Elara journeyed through forests and across meadows, the compass needle would occasionally spin and then settle, always pointing her towards an ever-changing direction. She followed its guidance through deep, whispering woods and over rolling hills until she reached the edge of a vast, shimmering lake. The compass led Elara to a small island in the middle of the lake, accessible only by a narrow stone bridge. On the island stood a grand, ancient tree with golden leaves that glistened in the sunlight. At the base of the tree was a large, intricately carved door, adorned with celestial motifs similar to those on the chest she had found. Elara approached the door and noticed a keyhole that matched the shape of the compass. With a deep breath, she placed the compass into the keyhole. The compass clicked into place, and the door creaked open, revealing a hidden chamber bathed in a warm, golden light. Inside the chamber was a beautiful, ornate mirror framed with twinkling gems. The mirror's surface was not a typical reflection but seemed to ripple like water. Elara approached it cautiously, and as she did, the mirror's surface began to show scenes of distant lands and fantastical creatures. A voice, gentle and melodious, spoke from the mirror. "Welcome, Elara. You have followed the compass with a heart full of curiosity and courage. The mirror reveals the heart's true desires and the wisdom one seeks." Elara looked into the mirror and saw not just landscapes but the faces of her friends and family. She saw visions of her village thriving and her maps guiding others to new and wondrous places. The mirror showed her that her true desire was not merely to uncover hidden places but to use her talents to enrich and uplift those around her. The voice continued, "The compass has guided you to this moment. Now, you have the power to share the secrets you have discovered with those who seek to explore the world and learn from its wonders." With a sense of clarity and purpose, Elara understood that the mirror's gift was not just knowledge but the ability to inspire and guide others. She thanked the mirror and left the chamber, taking with her the realization that her journey was as much about self-discovery as it was about exploration. Elara returned to Rivamist, where she began to use her newfound wisdom to create detailed and enchanted maps that revealed not only geographical features but also hidden wonders and magical places. Her maps became cherished treasures, guiding explorers and adventurers to places of beauty and discovery. The village of Rivermist flourished as a center of learning and wonder, and Elara's legacy lived on through the countless maps she created. The enchanted compass remained in a place of honor in her home, a reminder of the journey that had led her to understand the true essence of her heart's desires. And so, the tale of Elara and the enchanted compass became a beloved story, told to each new generation as a reminder that the greatest discoveries come from within and that true guidance comes from following one's heart with courage and integrity. Once upon a time, in a quaint village named Willowbrook, nestled between lush, rolling hills and sparkling streams, there was an ancient forest known as the Enchanted Forest. This forest was a place of mystery and wonder, with towering trees that whispered secrets and flowers that bloomed in colors unseen anywhere else. Legend spoke of a magical heart hidden deep within the forest, said to grant the purest of wishes. Among the villagers was a young boy named Finn. Finn was known for his adventurous spirit and unyielding curiosity. He had often heard tales of the enchanted forest and the magic it held, but he had never ventured inside. One crisp autumn morning, when the leaves were turning golden and the air was filled with the scent of pine, Finn decided to seek out the heart of the forest. With a small satchel of provisions, a sturdy walking stick, and a heart full of determination, Finn set out on his adventure. As he entered the enchanted forest, he felt a sense of wonder and excitement. The forest was alive with the sounds of rustling leaves and chirping birds, and beams of sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, creating a dance of light and shadow on the forest floor. Finn followed a winding path marked with glowing mushrooms and twinkling fireflies. The deeper he went, the more magical the forest became. He soon came across a sparkling stream with water so clear it seemed to shimmer with stars. As he knelt to take a drink, a gentle voice spoke from the water. "Brave traveler, what brings you to the heart of the enchanted forest?" Startled but composed, Finn looked around and saw a small, wise-looking fish with scales that sparkled like gems. "I seek the heart of the forest," Finn replied. "I want to make a wish that will bring joy to my village." The fish's eyes twinkled with understanding. "To find the heart, you must pass 3 trials. Each trial will test your courage, wisdom, and kindness. Only those who are true of heart will succeed." With a nod, Finn agreed to the challenge. And the first trial began. The path led him to a dark and eerie part of the forest where he faced a daunting, tangled thicket. The thicket was alive with shadows that seemed to reach out and grab at him. Finn's heart raced, but he remembered the stories of courage and took a deep breath. He noticed that the shadows were merely illusions created by the shifting light. By carefully navigating through the thicket and staying calm, Finn found a hidden path that led him safely through the darkness. The second trial brought Finn to a clearing with a massive, ancient tree at its center. The tree's bark was etched with intricate patterns, and at its base was a large, locked chest. An inscription on the chest read, "Only the wise can unlock the secrets within." Above the chest floated a riddle: I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? Finn pondered the riddle, remembering the stories he'd heard. After a moment of thought, he answered, a joke. The chest's lock clicked open, and inside was a golden key. Finn took the key, knowing it was meant for the next trial. The final trial led Finn to a grove where a beautiful, delicate flower was wilting on the ground. The flower's petals were losing their color, and it seemed to be fading away. A soft, mournful voice echoed from the flower. To save me, you must give something precious from your heart, the voice said. Finn felt a pang of sadness but looked around for something he could offer. He remembered the golden key he had found and realized that his desire to help the flower was more important than keeping the key. He gently placed the key beside the flower and made a heartfelt wish for its revival. As he did, the flower's petals regained their vibrant color, and it bloomed more beautifully than before. A soft, warm light enveloped the grove, and the forest seemed to come alive with joy. The flower's voice spoke again, "You have passed all 3 trials with bravery, wisdom, and kindness. The heart of the forest is now revealed to you." A hidden glen appeared, illuminated by a radiant, golden light. In the center of the glen was a magnificent heart-shaped crystal, pulsing with a warm, comforting glow. Finn approached the crystal and made his wish, "I wish for the happiness and prosperity of my village." The crystal's light expanded and enveloped the entire enchanted forest, sending waves of magic toward Willowbrook. When Finn returned to his village, he found it transformed. The fields were lush, the rivers were clear, and the villagers were filled with joy and prosperity. The enchanted forest continued to thrive, and Finn's bravery and kindness became a cherished legend in Willowbrook. The heart of the forest remained a symbol of the magic that lives in selfless wishes and the wonders that can be found when one truly believes in the extraordinary. And so, the village of Willowbrook flourished under the enchantment of the forest, and Finn's adventure became a timeless story of courage, wisdom, and the power of a pure heart. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the reach of ordinary maps, there was a mystical place known as Everwood. This enchanted forest was said to be a realm where magic danced on the leaves and whispered through the trees. Its beauty was unparalleled, with trees that sparkled like stars and flowers that sang gentle lullabies. In the heart of Everwood lay a grand garden, tended by an old and wise gardener named Elowen. She was no ordinary gardener. She had the ability to speak with plants and understand their secrets. The garden was a tapestry of colors and scents, with roses that glowed under the moonlight and lilies that shone like the morning sun. One sunny morning, a curious young girl named Lyra ventured into Everwood. She had heard tales of the magical garden and was eager to see it for herself. Lyra was kind-hearted and had a special gift of her own. She could hear the songs of the forest animals. As she wandered deeper into the forest, she marveled at the vibrant flora and the soft hum of magic in the air. Soon, she reached the garden and was greeted by the sight of Elowen, who was busy planting a new bed of iridescent violets. "Welcome to the enchanted garden," Elowen said with a warm smile. "I'm Elowen, the guardian of this magical place. What brings you here, young Lyra?" Lyra's eyes sparkled with wonder. "I've heard so much about this garden and wanted to see it for myself. It's even more beautiful than I imagined." Elowen chuckled softly. "I'm glad you think so. This garden is special, and it holds many secrets. Would you like to help me with a task today?" Lyra eagerly agreed, and Elowen led her to a secluded corner of the garden where a large, ancient oak tree stood. Its trunk was covered in delicate, golden ivy, and its branches stretched high into the sky. "This tree," Elowen explained, "is the heart of the garden. It keeps the magic flowing through Everwood. But lately, the magic has been weakening. The ivy on this tree needs to be recharged with a special spell." Lyra's eyes widened. "How can I help?" Elowen handed Lyra a small, ornate book with a cover made of shimmering leaves. This book contains the spell needed to restore the magic. But to cast it, you must first understand the Song of the Ivy. Listen closely and let your heart guide you." Lyra nodded and placed her hands gently on the ivy-covered trunk. As she closed her eyes, she could hear a soft, melodic whisper, like a lullaby carried by the wind. The song was delicate and full of longing. Guided by the melody, Lyra carefully recited the spell from the book. As she spoke the words, the ivy began to glow with a warm, golden light. The tree's branches swayed gently, and a sense of renewed magic filled the garden. Eloan clapped her hands in delight. "You did it, Lyra. The garden's magic is restored. The ivy's song is vibrant once more." Lyra beamed with pride. It was an incredible experience. I could feel the magic flowing through me. As a token of gratitude, Eloan gifted Lyra a single glowing violet from the garden. "This flower will remind you of the magic within you. Whenever you need to find your way or seek guidance, hold it close." Lyra thanked Eloan and began her journey back home, her heart full of joy and wonder. As she walked through the forest, the violet in her hand shimmered softly, casting a gentle light. From that day on, Lyra would often return to Everwood, not just as a visitor, but as a friend and protector of its magic. And the enchanted garden continued to thrive, its secret safe with those who understood its true beauty. And so, in the heart of Everwood, where magic and nature intertwined, Lyra's story became one of many, each adding to the timeless tale of a magical place where dreams and wonders never ceased to exist. Once upon a time, in a land of rolling hills and whispering forests, there was a quaint village called Evergreen. Evergreen was a place where every season brought its own charm, spring with its wildflowers, summer with its festivals, autumn with its harvest, and winter with its sparkling snow. But what made Evergreen truly special was its annual Festival of Lights, where lanterns crafted with love and care were set afloat on the village pond to bring peace and hope. Among the villagers was a young girl named Eloan. Eloan had a warm smile and the heart as kind as the summer sun. She was known for her beautiful lanterns, which she made with extraordinary skill and a touch of magic. Each year, her lanterns would light up the festival, and their glow was said to bring good fortune to all who saw them. One evening, as the Festival of Lights approached, Eloan found an old, dusty lantern in her grandmother's attic. The lantern was different from the others she had made, its metal was tarnished. And its glass was cracked, but it had a charm that intrigued her. There was something about it that seemed special. Determined to restore it, Eloan worked tirelessly, cleaning and polishing the lantern. As she did, she discovered a hidden compartment containing a faded map and a small, golden key. The map was marked with a star and led to a mysterious place called the Grove of Whispers, deep within the enchanted forest. Curious and excited, Eloan decided to follow the map. She set out early the next morning, carrying the lantern and the key. The forest was dense and filled with the songs of birds and the rustle of leaves. Eloan navigated through the forest, following the map's directions until she reached a glade bathed in a soft, otherworldly light. In the center of the glade stood an ancient, majestic oak tree with a hollow trunk. The map indicated that the lantern should be placed inside the hollow. Eloan hesitated for a moment but then carefully set the lantern in the hollow and turned the golden key in its lock. The moment the key turned, the lantern began to glow with a brilliant, silvery light. The oak tree's branches shimmered, and a hidden door in the tree's trunk creaked open, revealing a spiral staircase leading down into the earth. Eloan descended cautiously, her heart pounding with excitement. At the bottom of the staircase, she entered a vast underground chamber illuminated by glowing crystals embedded in the walls. In the center of the chamber was a pedestal, and upon it rested a radiant crystal orb that pulsed with a gentle, rhythmic light. The orb was surrounded by ancient symbols and seemed to hum with a soothing melody. As Eloan approached the pedestal, a soft, melodious voice echoed through the chamber, "Welcome, Eloan. You have discovered the Lantern of Starlight, a source of great magic and hope. This orb holds the light of countless stars and can bring peace and joy to the world above. However, its power must be used with a pure heart and noble intention. Eloan took a deep breath and gently touched the orb. The chamber filled with a warm, golden light, and the orb's glow intensified. She felt a deep connection to the magic within it and knew what she needed to do. "I wish to share this light with my village," she said, "to bring hope and happiness to everyone during the Festival of Lights." With her wish spoken, the orb's light flowed into the lantern, which began to shine with an even more brilliant glow. Eloan carefully carried the lantern back to Evergreen, where the villagers eagerly awaited her return. That night, during the Festival of Lights, Eloan set the lantern afloat on the village pond. As the lantern floated across the water, its light seemed to dance and shimmer, casting a warm and enchanting glow across the entire village. The villagers watched in awe as the lantern's light illuminated their faces and hearts, filling them with a deep sense of peace and joy. The Festival of Lights that year was the most magical Evergreen had ever seen. The lantern's glow brought a sense of unity and hope to all who saw it. People from nearby villages came to witness the spectacle, and the story of the Lantern of Starlight spread far and wide. Eloan's lantern became a cherished symbol of the Festival of Lights, and each year, it was the first lantern set afloat on the pond. The village thrived with happiness and prosperity, and Eloan's kindness and bravery were celebrated for generations. And so, the magic of the Lantern of Starlight continued to shine brightly, reminding all who gazed upon it of the power of hope and the beauty of a pure heart. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a kingdom named Luminera, renowned for its beautiful gardens. The most splendid of these was the Moonlit Garden, which bloomed only under the light of the full moon. The garden was said to be a gift from Luna, the moon goddess, and was filled with flowers that glowed with an ethereal light, enchanting anyone who wandered through it. In this kingdom lived a young girl named Elara, who loved the moonlit garden more than anything else. Every full moon, she would sneak out of her home and spend hours wandering among the glowing flowers, dreaming of the day she might meet Luna herself. Her grandmother, a wise woman named Maris, often warned her that the garden's beauty was not without its dangers, but Elara's curiosity always led her back. One night, as Elara roamed the garden, she stumbled upon a hidden path she had never seen before. Her heart raced with excitement as she followed the path, which led to a secluded glade where a single, magnificent flower stood. The flower's petals shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow, and its fragrance was so enchanting that Elara felt drawn to it. As she reached out to touch the flower, a voice echoed through the glade. "Who dares to disturb my sanctuary?" The voice was soft yet commanding, and Elara looked up to see a figure bathed in moonlight standing before her. It was Luna, the moon goddess, her silver hair flowing like liquid light and her eyes sparkling like stars. Elara fell to her knees. "I'm sorry, Luna. I didn't mean to intrude. I was just curious." Luna's expression softened. "Curiosity is a gift, but it must be tempered with wisdom. You have found the heart of the garden, a flower that holds immense power. It can grant any wish, but it must be used with a pure heart." Elara's eyes widened. "Any wish?" Luna nodded. "But be warned, young one. A selfish wish will bring great misfortune. Choose wisely." Elara thought of her village, which had been suffering from a terrible drought. The fields were barren, and the rivers had dried up. She stood up with determination. "I wish for rain to end the drought and bring life back to my village." Luna smiled. "Your heart is pure, Elara. Your wish will be granted." She touched the heart of the garden, and a beam of light shot up to the sky, piercing the clouds. Moments later, the sky darkened, and gentle rain began to fall. Elara returned to her village, where the rain had already begun to revive the fields and fill the rivers. The villagers rejoiced, and Elara's grandmother hugged her tightly. "You have done a great thing, my dear. Luna must have seen the purity of your heart." The next full moon, Elara returned to the moonlit garden to thank Luna. As she wandered through the now thriving garden, she noticed that the heart of the garden was gone. In its place was a small, glowing seed. Luna appeared once more. "The heart of the garden has served its purpose, but its magic lives on in this seed. Plant it in your village, and it will grow into a new moonlit garden, bringing beauty and magic to your home." Ilara took the seed and planted it in the center of her village. Over the next few months, a new moonlit garden blossomed, more beautiful than anyone could have imagined. The villagers tended to it with care, and it became a place of wonder and joy for all. Ilara grew up to be a wise and beloved leader of her village, always remembering Luna's lesson about the power of a pure heart. And every full moon, she would visit the moonlit garden, grateful for the magic and beauty that had transformed her village. And so, the kingdom of Luminera lived happily ever after, with the moonlit garden as a reminder of the magic that could be found in the world when one acted with a pure heart. The end.